howdy. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It's Wednesday. Yes, Mama Mephistopheles says, like the stream, do it. Do it, like the stream, y'all. It's early in the day. But yeah, before I stuff you all into lockers, you've just been to the gym and now you're in bully mode. That's how it works, I guess. Anyway, what's up? Oh yeah, there's lots of likes on the video. Do y'all like the isopods? They are pretty cute. I feel like I could have a cuter species of isopods, but like the ones that I have are the ones that my partner gave me. So I liked the stream before it started. Been waiting an hour. Kitty Tick, you're one of the real ones. You comment on the video too. I saw you do that today. So thank you very much. Everybody who's been engaging with the content, like I'm sure you've seen if you have notifications on for the channel that I have been uploading a lot. So I hope that you're enjoying that. And when relevant, I hope that you share the content and, you know, that you hit the like button and all that jazz. So, what's up, Ursa? I'm squatting 115 pounds now, 3 sets of 12 reps, feeling strong. Nice. I don't do regular squats because I'm concerned about my ability to do that without harming my back, which I haven't tweaked it at all. Earlier this year, I was tweaking it regularly at the gym because I think I have some old injury or something, or maybe it was just psychosomatic, like, I don't know. I haven't triggered it at all this time. However, I also am using the completely adapted workout that I was like, okay, I'm doing all of these workouts in this way to avoid tweaking my back. And one of those changes that I've made is that I do sumo squats. Like, your feet are much further apart. They're pointed outward a little bit. Like, your knees are real far apart. And I do those with a kettlebell. So, thank you, Kitty. Yes, trying to engage to help you boost. Saw the video about the algo hit. Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, part of it is that I didn't upload a lot throughout the month of October. And that definitely hurt the channel a lot, but it's like YouTube is like, let's explicitly tell you how we keep YouTubers who are small. Anyway, much appreciated. Always appreciate y'all liking and commenting and subscribing and all those good things, all those delicious things. I might end up changing the title of the stream because we are going to talk about Matt Walsh, but I don't know if Matt Walsh is going to get the clicks, you know? Like, people tend to click my streams more for the, like, real serious topics. The real serious, like, trans topics. And we do have real serious trans topics that we're going to be discussing today. But, you know, it's going to come later. The key is to stare directly ahead during your squat. Keeps your back straight, usually at the person on the other side of the squat rack, but that's your chance to assert dominance. The problem, though, for me is that if my knees are pointed more forward, like, it puts it on my back a lot. I don't know. Yes, the hearing about Ohio is on my list. We have that tab open to read Aaron Reed's article. There is, so to be clear, here's the thing. Here's the issue with this, is that, ooh, Andy's says, I'm wearing the Gender Anarchy tank anyways, but wasn't sure if there's a channel on Discord for posting that stuff. Would be fine since I'm wearing a good bra. Yeah, so there's a couple of, like, channels for pics. And I guess it's kind of up to you which one to post it in. If your bra is visible, you might choose to post it in the memes and pics in the lava pit and not the one with the ice cream in the title. Streamers keep talking about tabs, but none of them are sponsored by Tab. Wasted opportunity. I know, wasted opportunity. Is Tab a kind of soda or energy drink or something? I'm back to total body conditioning, which is pretty much exclusively aerobics and calisthenics. Just need a step, a wall, and an exercise ball. I was just thinking if I should get an exercise ball to replace my chair. Like, I need a new chair or something. I have a tendency to want to pull my legs up and sit cross-legged, but then my legs go numb. gotta be the height of your waist. The height of my waist? My waist is so... Do you have any idea how long my legs are? I don't think that's gonna work. Like, oh, okay, it squishes a lot. Okay, fair. Okay, anyway. Getting off track here. Getting off track. We're at the beginning of the stream and things are already off the rails. So, anyway, I hope that you all are having a pretty okay week so far. It seems that the anti-trans news is gonna start picking up because, yeah, like Mama was saying about the thing in Ohio right now, they are making moves toward a bill that is an all-in-one in the sense that it's like limiting trans kids' access to medical care and preventing trans girls from participating in sports. And they're having a hearing for only the proponents of the bill. Like, only the people who support the bill. Only the people who are like, yes, we've decided that we want to make these things illegal and limit people's rights arbitrarily. And then you have the opponents meeting, which is yet to be scheduled. It's going to be at some other time, but it as yet has not been scheduled, which I think is really interesting. Just me personally, I don't really know. It kind of makes me feel like they're going to find some convenient excuse to, like, postpone or otherwise cancel the other one. I don't really know. I don't really know. There's a new coffee shop that opened at the mall, and I think it's local. Ooh, nice. I'm pretty sure he put 3 espresso shots in my iced latte. Ooh, use that energy. Get some shit done. Absolutely. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have not taken a second Ritalin today. Should I do that? I think I should do that. That's probably a good idea. So that I can not completely crash right after stream, because that happens sometimes. So, yay. We love ADHD and, like, associated fatigue. Lux be Ritalin, it's true. Wouldn't be the first time I've taken Ritalin on stream. Probably won't be the last. Yes. Success. You know, you can always check the description when you come in to see what we're going to be planning on talking about today. We've got Matt Walsh. We've got this thing in Ohio. We've got... Oh gosh. What else do we even have today? What did I have? Hold on. I want to try to just remember. This is what happens when there's so much ongoing news. It's like, how do you keep track of all of it? Anyway, yeah, no. So we have, the Aaron Reed thing and... Oh, right. Brianna Ghey, the hearing for her murder has started, like the trial regarding her murder. So that's, yay. Yay. And Florida! Oh man, it's been a minute. I love Florida so much. We have an entire playlist dedicated to Florida. That's how much we used to be talking about Florida. It's tapered off a little bit, the Florida stuff, but they're trying to expand a Don't Say Gay bill even further. And you thought, oh, I thought they already expanded it and made it illegal to talk about all the way up to 12th grade. Well, they did, but they're going to expand it more. Don't ask how. Is it too early to discuss this? Wait, to discuss what? Is dementia slowly following me wherever I go? Wait, what do you mean? Like, are there more people around you who have... I mean, yeah, you work in a hospital, so maybe there are... Are there more patients with dementia? Because, I mean, that really would not surprise me. Given that, like, COVID damages your brain. You know what I mean? Mersh! Hello, it's Mersh. Welcome in. We are just chilling for now, as we usually do. The looming threat that it does run in my family. Well, yeah. I mean, there's not a lot you can do if it runs in your family on top of everything else. Tab was Diet Coke. Diet Coke. Anyhoozle. And you know, if we have time after we talk about the serious news, we might play a game. We might try to make a little bit more progress on Little Nightmares. We'll see. What's up, Eric? Hello. Thank you to everybody who has placed a merch order since my merch store opened up like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago now. That's pretty fucking lit. And I'm gonna get paid for that next month, so... Merch, I thought you got sold in Lux's store. No! Merch and merch. We have distinctions here. What's up, Jeller? Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. We're still in the warm-up time of the stream for now. If you want to wait for the politics stuff, we appreciate you chilling with us. If you want to come back in like 30 minutes, then that would be cool too. Hit a like before you go. This is the last stream of November. Isn't that fun? I feel like I'm actually looking forward to the winter for the first time in my entire life. And I'm prepared. I'm so prepared. Like, my partner was like, hey, like, can you add a couple of things to the Amazon wish list to bring the total up to a certain amount? And I am going to get some really nice, soft, like, fleece leggings so that I can be warm. And I also got those rabbit furs that I was talking about. I was like, oh, I want some rabbit furs. I went ahead and added the rabbit furs. And so I'm going to get a bunch of those for a really cheap price. And I'm going to use those to stay warm this winter. It's like the first time in my life I'm looking forward to the winter. I usually hate winter. Still not a huge fan of snow. Still not a huge fan of being outside during the winter. But I am going to be like, I guess, more prepared for the cold this year. The years start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. True. Just tell Jimmy to incorporate you and put you on salary. I don't actually know how Jimmy pays his regular contributors to the line, but since I don't stream on Thursdays anymore, I could technically be a regular contributor to the line. I don't know if he needs that, but I could technically do that. I'm going to be on the Transatlantic Call-In show next week. We were originally planning for me to be on there this week, but that just is not working out for some reason. I guess he goofed the schedule and thought that was the wrong week. But I'm going to be on Transatlantic Call-In show next Thursday. As a Quebecer, I approve of your fur use. I wear mostly vintage and used fur all winter. It's so fucking warm and comfortable. Yes, I have a badger fur that I can wear over my shoulders. And I also have a cloak that I have no qualms wearing over the winter. I think one of the things that has made me, it makes me feel like, oh, I maybe do actually want a little bit of armor now is like because it is really warm. And it's like, oh, if I'm moving to somewhere that it's going to be colder, maybe, then I think that I should have some good winter gear, which includes having armor, apparently. I miss my beaver fur coat I had last winter. I looked like such a cute goth twink in that thing. What happened to it? Did it get ruined or something? You are literally dressing like a member of House Stark. I mean, yeah, it's like House Stark, but it's also, that's how everybody dresses at the Ren Fair when it gets cold. Like, at my native Ren Fair, it's usually hot the first chunk, and then for the last chunk, there's, like, a few cold weekends or a few cold days, like, rainy. And, like, anybody who's out there is wearing a cloak or a fur or a combination thereof. I mean, if you have the money to afford it, obviously. Those things are not cheap. But, yeah. Got myself a badger. And now I'm gonna have, like, 10 rabbit furs to do something with. I want one of those fake fur-lined bomber jackets. Yeah, bomber jackets are pretty cool. Not really my style personally, but I think that it looks good on other people. What are some fun, goofy, inconsequential things that we can talk about at the beginning of stream before we ramp up to the political stuff? Or should we just launch into the political stuff and save the fun for afterwards? Watch out for the furries. Poaching ramps up this time of year. Poaching ramps up? Like... Jank for Prez? No! Kelsey, no! More health and fitness talk? Guessing you're more of a vintage trench coat type for colder weather? No, I mean, what I'm realizing this year, like right now, is that the type of cold weather person I am is like a wears fur and leather kind of cold weather person. Like, I am going so far retro that it's not even a reference point for like in the modern era. And I don't mean like fur coat. I mean like strapping furs like with leather to parts of my body and like getting like plate armor to wear on my chest to keep me warm and like wearing a cloak. Like fully I'm gonna commit, I think. That's what I'm gonna do. And like I don't care if people are like, look, yeah, I'm gonna go Nordic this winter. That's absolutely what I'm doing. I'm like, part of the reason why I'm growing out my back of my hair is because I want to be able to do like one cohesive braid all the way back. And like, I'm inspired by when I had a troll druid on World of Warcraft, and she had this hairdo that she had a braid up top, but it had like a lot of height to it. Like the braid itself had a lot of height to it. And I'm like, how can I do that with my hair? It's very voluminous today. Yesterday I washed it, and I think that I must have just like really dried it out. Like I didn't put oil in it afterwards, and now it's frizzy. You look very intimidating, especially with the big fur boots and a battle axe. I have not decided what I'm doing for boots, because, I mean, you need to have snow boots, right? And snow boots are often going to have like they're going to have like a rubber bottom, right? Like, I feel like good snow boots, like the whole foot part of it is just going to be like rubber, and then like the regular part of the boot is going to be on the ankle part. But all of the part that comes in contact with the snow has to be like rubberized. I need some good snow boots. Like, I'm so tired of my feet getting wet during the winter. It pisses me off so much. David in the YouTube chat was a vintage trench coat person for a while, apparently. Oh, that's a good topic. What's your fantasy weapon of choice? Arcadian Goose. I'm sorry. Mama, your question will have to wait a minute. $50 dono. Holy shit, thank you so much. Like, right up top of the stream, we've fulfilled the thing. 50% off flex this Cyber Monday. Get it while it's... What is that emoji called? Get it while it's buff. True. Thank you. Okay. Well, alright. I decided to lower the stream goal because we kept not hitting it, and that was a little bit depressing to me, and I wanted to show off my flexing muscles, so... Jiminy Christmas, thank you so much. Yeah, I gotta do it now. I won't have rabbits for 2 or 3 years. Next year I'm getting serious about chickens. Oh, I don't want to raise chickens. I would love to have a neighbor who kept chickens, and I could give that neighbor my scraps and stuff in exchange for eggs. Like, okay, I'll give you chicken feed. Like, I'll give you my table scraps that might normally go in the compost bin for your chickens to eat. And then I will take some eggs every once in a while, and I don't want to ever have to see your chickens on my property. Like, that's pretty much the relationship that I want to have to the availability of chicken on my commune, on my little homestead, which I've been fantasizing about a lot more lately. But I would grow rabbits. I think it would be hard to keep them safe. But yeah, rabbits. Will you weigh in on the Keffel Sunday drama? I can't help being a drama frog. I would love if you would fill me in, Foxgloved, on what you are referring to. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna flex now. We're ready. We're ready. Okay. Oof, boof. Okay, so I don't know how impressive it is because I've basically like been in the gym for like, when did I start this time? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I started this time in the beginning of November. So it's only been like about a month. Not quite a month. I do feel like I finally understand how to flex my back, but I don't know, maybe I'll embarrass myself by not actually doing it very well. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Gotta get in frame. Gotta get in frame, okay? Yeah, I don't know. I can't see. Excellent for just a month. Thank you. I am making a point of, like, actually pushing toward more weight. Before I was taking it much easier on myself, so... Well, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, lats with Lux. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. How do you like guinea fowl? Guinea fowl? Aren't guinea fowls birds? I could see myself having goats, too. Anyway. Thank you again for the dono. Here's another one. Psh. It's like this line right here. If you can get this line right here to show up, that's a good... It's a good definition mark right there. Any artists who need to pay attention to that. There is your mark right there. Oh, my hip. I was sitting weird in my chair. Okay, now we're done. Thanks. That's the stream dono reward. Guinea fowl are chickens but meaner? Okay, well, I don't want chickens but meaner. What about ducks? Are ducks mean? Or can you keep ducks and they're not mean? Because I feel like duck eggs, you know, I could probably make that transition. Probably. Samantha in the YouTube chat says, if it starts getting unbearably cold, I'll consider spending the winter in hell because it'll be warmer at least. Truly. Ducks sexually assault each other, different issues. What if I don't have any male ducks? Because I don't need them to fertilize the eggs. I only need female ducks, right? Oh, I know about male ducks and their bad behaviors. I'm fully aware. You don't gotta tell me about the weird corkscrew penises. Ducks seem to be mean depending on region. I met some nice ducks in England, but mean ones in Texas. It would be Texas that would have the mean ducks. Oh, hold on. My stream thing is on a delay. Now I get to watch myself flex my back. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. Things are starting to happen. Yeah, things are starting to happen. Cool. All right, neat. That's cool. Mama Mephistopheles is mean ducks. No, mean ducks is decoy duck. Decoy duck, who I haven't seen yet today. Ducks are good for eating slugs and such in your garden. They don't eat up your plants like chickens do. Yeah, so that's part of what I mean. Like, so chickens are mean and they're territorial and they eat everything and they suck. So I don't want to keep chickens. Listen, I'll just move... When I move to Washington, I'll just live close to Xander Hall on his little farmstead whenever he starts his little chicken farm. And we'll trade. I'll trade something. Or maybe I'll have goats and I'll make cheese and I'll trade cheese. Yes, the leftist streamer commune. We're gonna start it. It's not just a commune, it's a farmstead. You know, we're gonna go full in. Xander Hall wants to do chickens and, like, quails and shit. And I'm like, okay, I don't want chickens or probably most birds. But, like, what else would I have? Could see rabbits. Could see goats. Could see sheep. I think sheep, maybe. Gonna be the Hype House meets the Zapatistas? No! You guys, no. No. Okay. I've seen that ducks can sleep standing on one leg, so they definitely get my respect. I think that's fair. They're coprophages. Coprophage? What does coprophage mean? They eat something. Does it mean that they eat their own eggs? So apparently ducks are evil, but they're good to humans. Oh, it means they eat poop. Oh, okay. Imagine a superhero called Duck Person and their power is to keep standing up on one leg. I I'm married to duck person, apparently, because my partner stands in crane stance all the fucking time. Excuse me. My mom had goats as a kid, and they ate wild fennel, which made their milk taste grossly like licorice. So IDK, make sure you don't have any wild fennel, I guess. Fair enough. Does my partner do yoga? No, my partner used to do martial arts. Which I did too, but I don't... I mean, I guess I do stand on one leg. I'll stand in crane stance sometimes. Sage grouse have those chesticles that make strange noises. Sage grouse. That's a type of bird, I think. A grouse? A grouse is a bird? I just don't like raising animals, TBH. No. My partner is not a series of ducks in a trench coat. Sláinte. Ooh. That's Irish for cheers. I would rather raise fruit trees. I think fruit trees are definitely, like, that could be part of the equation. Or, like, some kind of farming, for sure. Like, you could do chestnuts or something, depending on what your climate is like. I was recently, pecans, like, pecans, I think, are super efficient as far as how much water they consume. As opposed to, like, almonds, which it takes, like, at least a gallon of water to produce one almond, which is, like, crazy. So yeah, it's like, can you grow pecans? That's a good way. Oh, yeah, sorry, mama. Sorry, I got distracted. Still need to know your fantasy weapon of choice. I would prefer magic, but if it's grounded fantasy, I'd prefer a sword. Okay. So here's the thing. Weigh in on the TheyFab discourse. Okay, I will do both of those things. So my ideal fantasy weapon, I think it, like... Okay, I am not trained to use a sword. Okay, a sword is a skilled weapon that you have to train for a long time to get good at, okay? And fights are usually over quicker than you think they will be. So you need to be able to decisively end a fight if you're choosing a fantasy weapon, and we're assuming that, like, we're on a level playing field of, like, nobody has guns. Like, you know, we're not fighting nukes or anything. So swords are not the thing that I would go with. Daggers is a similar thing. Like, I think a it would be good to have a hunting knife, for sure. Maybe, like, a skinning knife, hunting knife kind of thing. But... I mean, maybe you could carry a dagger as a backup weapon, but I don't know that it would be very useful, right? Because, like, obviously, again, daggers, bladed weapons, you have to be pretty talented with them. They require extremely close quarters, which is, like, for a small-ish person, that's the opposite of what you want. I don't know, I guess I'm not that small. Like, I don't know, I weigh, like, 150-ish pounds or something like that. I don't know, I'm, like, somewhere in the middle there. So I guess I'm not that tiny, but I could... I just don't think that getting super close quarters is a good call for me personally, right? I think any person who is alive during a medieval setting requires a bow, but a hunting bow, probably. So, but you have to be at least, like, kind of good with it, otherwise you don't eat, you know? So, hunting bow, which can serve as a weapon. You could have, like, a really nice hunting bow. I guess you could always use a longbow as a hunting bow, but it's like, is that your primary weapon, though, is the question? Am I hauling around a bow and arrows as my primary weapon? Or is that just my thing that I'm using to keep myself fed? Probably that's the thing that I'm using to keep myself fed. I like the idea of a hammer, because a hammer doesn't have to pay attention to what kind of armor class your opponent is using. You'd also need to be able to know how to do bow maintenance and to string and unstring them. That's true. That's a skill you would have to have, like, but having a bow is required. So learning how to do bow maintenance is required. And no matter what weapon you have, it's going to require probably some amount of maintenance that you would have to do. Like, if you have a hammer, you're going to need to oil it. because, like, sorry, by the way, for everybody who's just coming in, I see some people just came in. Someone asked the question, what's my preferred medieval weapon, assuming that magic is off the table. And so we're just kind of having that discussion right now. But we'll talk about politics stuff later. Hit the like button before you leave. So what about a crossbow? Crossbows take a really long time to load, is the main problem with them. And I honestly feel like a bow would be easier to travel than a crossbow. Like, I guess if the crossbow was made to be collapsible, I just feel like if it were made to be collapsible, then it wouldn't be as strong and sturdy, and I wouldn't trust it as much. I don't think crossbow's the way for me, personally. I fancy the idea of a hammer, is what I was saying, because a hammer is something that doesn't have to pay attention to the armor class. Like, you know, if they're wearing plate, if they're wearing mail, you just crush, right? And so, you know, it allows you to do a certain amount of damage. It allows you to a certain extent to blow past a sword blow, but, like, you know, I don't think that I'm personally, like, I'm gonna wield a hammer. Axes are fun, but I'm not gonna do axes. Staves are fun, but I think not quite dangerous enough. Although I do, like, the thing about a staff is that you can wield it, like, to attack and defend at the same time. That's one of the useful things about a staff. And again, like, I guess if it's a heavy enough staff, then you don't have to be concerned, again, about the, like, armor class. But it's like, you know, with a staff, you're probably not gonna, like, have enough weight on the end to, like, really crush plate. War club style with the weighted rings of metal. I haven't seen that before. Halberd. So halberd, yeah, I mean, I could see a halberd. I don't think that I would want just a halberd, though. I would probably, I'm gonna do the thing that's really annoying, and I'm gonna go with a thing from a specific property. But also, this is like the weapon that I fantasized about when I was a kid. It's like if you had a staff, but it was, like, bladed on both sides so that it was balanced. And if you want to make it extremely badass, you make it detachable in the middle so that you can then have, like, two kind of lighter weight, basically, like, halves of a halberd. Basically, like, something along those lines. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation to have. As far as I know, a bludgeoning weapon is good against chainmail, but you need something piercing to get through plate. I mean, it depends on how heavy your thing is. You could also do a spiked mace. Spiked mace is also good. Depends on the terrain and range. That's true, it depends. Staves are very dependent on fighting style too. Something like Salat would be cool. Staves are also practical in extreme weather conditions usually. Right, like they're, well, I don't know. Yeah. Mace would be OP. Right, yeah, the Morning Star for the win, yeah. I always think of the Morning Star as being, is the Morning Star the one that you swing around? Like Sauron style? Like Sauron has the big fucking thing on the end of his chain and he's like, Wah! That's called a flail. Okay, got it. If you can sufficiently bend the plate, it is worse for the person wearing if being stabbed at times. Right, like if you collapse it in, then that's like gonna be crushing their chest. And like that's the reason why I got composite toe shoes instead of steel toe shoes, because a composite is usually rated to be almost as tough as a steel toe, except a composite, if it gets crushed and then the pressure gets released, it will pop back into shape. And stop crushing your foot, whereas if steel gets bent, then it will remain disfigured and your foot will not be able to get out of the shoe. What you need is a pole arm, like a bill hook, helps you get fruit and remove bodies away, and move bodies away. A pole arm like a bill hook. Yeah, some kind of pole arm, I think. Some kind of modified pole arm is probably what my primary weapon would be. Something that maintains distance between myself and my opponent. Something that I can use to attack and defend simultaneously. Something that would allow me to defend against multiple opponents if required. Obviously, it would be great if I could use it as a walking staff sometimes. Steel toes can be more dangerous for some injuries. Super depends on what you're doing if leather or steel is better. Yeah. I got composite toe shoes. What about a weapon or power from anime? Oh my god, there's too many anime. There's too many. Something like a long hammer. I don't know what long hammer is. What is a long hammer? What kind of magic would you want to do from any magic system? I was going to reflexively say fire magic, but I don't actually know if that's the case. I don't know. I would have to mull that over. It's like asking me what kind of bender I want to be. It's like, I don't know. It kind of depends. It's like, long hammer is just a hammer halberd, basically. Oh, yeah, okay. I kind of like that. Long hammer is pretty cool. But it's not a balanced weapon. Lux strikes me as a necromancer with all the life-death stuff. Listen, okay, so if I played D&D today, I would probably make a character that was a death druid, because that's a thing in D&D. And that is, like, mostly in line. Circle of Death, which is a druid subclass, is, like, the, it happens to be philosophically aligned with all of the things that I believe, except that a Circle of Death druid, like, will cause death in order to fuel its magic in the same way that, like, a necromancer might. And, like, they believe that death, I guess, is like a... Hold on, let me read. Let's read it. The Circle of Death is dedicated to the study and manipulation of the energy of death. These druids see death as a necessary and natural part of the cycle of life and believe that by understanding and accelerating this process, they can better serve the world around them. I don't think that accelerating the process of death can better serve the world around us, but I do think that it's a natural and necessary part of the cycle of life. So these druids were drawn to the Circle of Death due to a life-altering event that brought them face-to-face with death. I guess that did kind of happen to me a little bit, huh? Oh yeah, you can roll for origin and stuff. That's funny. Anyway, so we don't need to get into that too much farther, but, like, I just think it's funny that my, like, my philosophical beliefs are reflected in a druid subclass. So, I'm kind of considering just starting to call myself a druid instead of a pagan, but I do think that druidism is a specific thing that might not have anything to do with what I want to call druidism. I played a druid in World of Warcraft, and that's where it started. Spore druid! Ooh, yes! Shush, corpse candy. Shush, 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 shush. My preferred D&D class is Bard. They have the most style and are honestly overpowered, however I cannot play an instrument. You don't have to be able to play an instrument to make a Bard character successful, okay? Look at that. We have 51 likes this stream. Dang. We have 51 likes. We already got a $50 dono that took us right up to the stream goal. Man, what if I changed the stream goal and made it to where if we get to $100, I'll go get my horns. I'll go get my horns out of the drawer that they're in. They're in a drawer, and I'll put them on. Or I'll flex again if you would rather that happen. Hello, Gayfesh! Welcome in! Full spectrum druidic style. I have some... Have I shown you guys my antlers that I ordered from, like, Poland or some shit like that? Flex with horns on, true. Like, this is one of them. This is just a shed. And I have a couple other ones. And I'm gonna make, like, a headset with it. As a matter of fact, your friends may hate you bringing an instrument for if you barred hard. True. I'm trying to motivate myself to finish some cuts before it gets cold. Listen, Kitty, you can do it. I believe in you. You can get these cuts done, right? It's gonna get cold soon, okay? And you know that you're not gonna want to do it when it's cold. And it's not gonna get warm again for a while. So are you really gonna put it off until next week? Me trying to convince myself to do fucking anything today. Oh man, like I probably should have done laundry because I think that it's gonna get colder. And like some of my stuff has to hang out to dry, and the only realistic place to do that is in like the coldest room in my place. Cutting abalone shells? What is that? I don't know what that means. David Zinman had a paladin. I used to play a paladin. I leveled it as a holy spec, and then I tanked for a while. It was great. Abalone's shells are gorgeously iridescent. Okay. Interesting. Anyhoozle, so thank you all for the very interesting conversation about which medieval weapons we would prefer. Wait, which magic do I like, though? It's like, okay, I really enjoyed playing my mage in World of Warcraft. Mage was really good. Like, fire magic mage with some... I don't know, do I care about having freezing spells? It's like asking me what X-Man power I want. That's another thing. It's like... It's more expansive than asking me what bending I would want to do, because you're at, like, it's like, okay, which X-Man do you want to be? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of cool dudes. In the Luke Cage, so I think his bulletproof skin was using abalone DNA or something. Okay, interesting. They're pretty red shells from the California coast. Okay. Which bending do you want to do? I think water would be the best. Yeah, I think water would probably be the most OP. There's the blood bending, which you don't even have to be specialized in order to be able to do. You just have to be fairly powerful bender, which I think is something that you can kind of practice at. And you would be able to, like, use the power of pressure washing. Like, but, like, you can target that and, like, put, like high pressurized water and like cut things. You know, being able to control the temperature of water would be pretty intensely powerful. If you had the power over your bending such that you could purify water, it would be also very highly useful. You could train yourself to do the healing skill of water bending. I do think that one would be the probably most overpowered. Excited to watch the News of Frank video about real-life superpowers later. I'm sure that I'll be hearing that one from across the room when my partner watches it. What's up, everybody who just came in? We're still in the just kind of chillin' part of the stream, but since we're approaching 5 o'clock here in a couple of minutes, we will switch gears and start talking about the real politics and the various Matt Walsh stuff and all that jazz. So, you know, stay tuned, or just click the like button before you leave if you don't want to hang out and listen to us talk about bending for another few minutes. Nerd mode, I know. Hammerhelm is a good fantasy/town builder game where you play as a dwarf who decides to live on the surface. Oh, that sounds cute. Oh, my Steam isn't open right now. I'm gonna open Steam real quick, and I'm gonna look up that game, because those are the kind of games that I like. Do you think airbenders could do the same thing? Breath control? What do you mean? Oh, kink-wise. Yeah, I mean, probably. A lot of jokes about Katara using bloodbending in the bedroom. Yeah, like, about, like, if Aang ever couldn't get the pee-pee hard, like, just use bloodbending. A bloodbender cardiologist, true. As a bloodbender, could you filter out, like, blood clots? I feel like an earthbender that was sufficiently talented could bend the various minerals in our bodies. Yeah, that's like the Magneto thing. But there's such trace amounts, it would be really hard to functionally make those kind of changes. Yeah, shut up, New Troy. Marie Monroe from Gen V kind of has similar powers to bloodbending. That's pretty cool. Okay, what am I looking up? I'm looking up a game that one of you just mentioned. I'm the Bloodbender Hemo Goblin. Okay. Hammer something? What was it? Hammer what? Where did this game go? Why are you all talking so much that the game is no longer on the screen? Where is it? Hammerhelm. Okay, there it is. This does seem like it would be kind of up my alley. Oh, no, it doesn't. That's way too much. No. No, 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 no. That's too much actually having to be a person walking around doing stuff. No, I don't like that. It needs to be way more, like, top-down. Okay, cool. Good to know, though. I love those kind of games. About 20% of us is various minerals. I mean, yeah, you could control the calcium in the bones. That would be the main thing. Okay, well, we are getting... Oh, hey, look at that. We have got 50 viewers. Just about 50 viewers. So, since we have... Most of you have hit the like button so far, we're probably going to go ahead and shift gears now. What should we talk about first? We've got Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire. We've got Ohio trying to move against trans rights and only hearing the proponents, the people who support their anti-trans bill. We have Florida expanding the Don't Say Gay bill to adult workplaces. And the Brianna Ghey murder trial. Wow, such wonderful news we have to talk about today. Where should we start? Let's vote. Do we want to talk about the murder of a 16-year-old trans girl? We're gonna have to do it at some point. I guess we could technically wait until after the trial is over, but, like, we might as well make the content about it as it goes along so that we can not have to cover the entire thing in one video later. Maybe, because this is going to be ongoing for the next, like, 4 weeks. Oh my god, my little voice is so tired. Worst is first, let's do the trial. Really? Okay, I mean, that's fair. Everything else seems too depressing. That's why you have to not... it's like, we gotta ebb and flow. We gotta do bad thing and then good thing, and then bad thing and then good thing, or something like that. Try to keep things balanced, okay? End on the goofy stuff. It's a good call. Okay, I don't actually know if this is the right orientation for these lights. Do you need to be white and you need to be gold? Maybe that's a little bit better. I do think that's actually a little bit better. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh gosh, let me get some of my links ready here. Shut up. I can ask my lights why they're white. All I want, it's my house. I'll be as racist towards the lights as I want to be. Okay, let me get my notes together here. We're going to talk about Brianna first. It's going to be like a pretty not fun, I think, going over the... Because they're going over the text messages of the teens before they did the murder. So that's part of it. Okay, this thing here. Hello. Thank you. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. Stream's not frozen. The bugs were just not being very active, okay? Sorry, had a thing that I had to deal with real quick, and now it is done, and we are back. We have returned. Luxander jump scare. Yes, true. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. You gotta be on your toes. No, I didn't die. No. Just had to deal with the thing. We're done. We're done dealing with the thing. It's all good. Yeah, it turns out isopods are crustaceans. Bugs is a very general term, okay? Actually, in all of the, like, entomology meme groups that I'm in, or, like, entomemology, whatever the groups that I'm in are, you know, it's very common for them to say shrimps is bugs. Because shrimps is bugs. True. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Anyway, we were about to do a thing. We were about to do a super depressing thing. Yay. I feel like I don't want to do it now. Okay, good. Speedy Shimeji is on the... Yeah, shrimps is bugs. Are bugs less active than kitties? My cat is like a slug most of the day. I mean, my bugs are... They skitter around a lot. And there's also, like... God, probably at least a couple hundred of them. So, you know... As a group, they're fairly active. But it's so bright in there, because I have a plant light, that they're like, no. I just need to have Hassan ready. Anytime I need to step away for a moment, it just has to be Hassan, because my viewers consistently go up when I put on Hassan while I'm leaving. It's real dumb. My isopods hide all day. Some of them are more bold than others. My isopod species is fairly bold. So... that makes things easier. I mean, they're like, I don't know, not really if you're all up in their business. If you're all up in their business, they don't really, they're like, no, ah! Yeah, they like to go underneath the logs. Oh, my partner's watching over a friend's jumping spider right now. He's very cute. I've considered, like, would a jumping spider be a good little friend? And I think a jumping spider would be a good little friend. I think that would be lovely. Isn't she lovely? You should show us entomology memes. That would be a good segment. Just like stealing my memes from Facebook. Listen, my best post so far on Blue Sky, I'm pretty sure, by far, has been... How many likes does it have now? It has 49 likes and 25 reposts. It's this picture, which I did steal off of Facebook, and then I just straight up reposted it to Blue Sky. Things may be tough now, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. It's the Balrog. That's the joke. The joke is that it's the Balrog. The light at the end of the tunnel is a Balrog. It's going to get you. And you don't have Gandalf. That's the thing. You don't have Gandalf. Otherwise, it would be alright. Get bug and dragon-themed merch. Are the bugs a big enough thing about my brand that we should do bugs on the merch? I am working on dragon-themed merch, by the way. I am working on that. You guys had some ideas, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to use Adobe Illustrator so that I can hopefully make some of these designs happen. I have like an image in my mind that I want to see if I can try to make it become into fruition. I can't hear the phrase jumping spider and not hear the Japanese announcer from the OG Ninja Warrior. Man, I don't know if I ever watched the OG Ninja Warrior. You fools better start flying. Get away from that Balrog. I often forget how Gollum speaks about himself as we and us. Yeah, because it's him and... like, I think that, did Tolkien say, or what, like... Gollum, it's at least speculated that Gollum is not, like, something that's unique to Smeagol. Like, Gollum is the projection that the ring pushes into people. Like, so, someone was theorizing, I think, that, like, as the story goes on and they get closer to the mountain and Frodo has been holding onto the ring for longer, that, like, the character that is Gollum, like, that maybe that's why the Smeagol is coming out more, that the Gollum is being born in Frodo, and so it's happening less in Smeagol. I mean, Bilbo definitely got that Gollum face in Rivendell. Right. Yeah, I mean, something was going on there. Gollum was not a hobbit. Gollum was not a hobbit. Technically speaking, he was a river folk, which is kind of related to hobbits, but it's not the same. But yeah, he definitely got corrupted over a period of time. Anyway, we're doing Lord of the Rings now, I guess. I don't know what a Smeagol is, but it sounds cool. You haven't seen the Lord of the Rings? What? That's crazy. Such a good movie. Such a good movie series. Yeah, ask Colbert. Colbert will always know. He's got all the answers. He doesn't know what page it happens on in the book if you ask him, though. That's the one thing. I see, Andes. That makes sense. Lord of the Rings gives me so many feelings about Frodo and Smeagol. I just want them to be happy. I know. Poor guys. Poor guys. Okay, so we have an excellent write-up about the Brianna Ghey murder trial by Jess O. Thompson, who we have spoken about before on this show. She is a journalist who covers, like, basically she's been covering a lot of trans-related stuff. I think she's independent. Like, she is doing this on her own website, and therefore, you know, when she's doing these things, like, she doesn't have the protection necessarily of being with an official news organization, but she is acting as a journalistic witness to, and the last time we talked about her was when a trans woman was bloodied at a protest. Like, you know, drag story hour, people come to protest that. They're really angry fascist weirdos. There's people there to protect the drag event. The people who are there to protect the drag event get attacked, and then the police show up, and then the police beat up the people who were being attacked just then. So that, yeah, Jess O. Thompson covered that, and that's why I follow her on Twitter now. And she has a write-up because she went there at her own cost to travel over to this trial, bear witness, and kind of tell everybody what was going on there. So, yeah, and for everybody's reference, I don't know if you care, but Jess is assigned female, identifies with womanhood, but also identifies as non-binary and uses, I think, she/they pronouns. Smeagol was a hobbit, but he wasn't a Harfoot. He was a Stoor. I guess I don't know what the difference is between those two things, but it's basically like, it's like two different variations of hobbit-ish. The Stoor are river hobbits. Yeah, but it's like slightly different thing, right? Or they don't like don't associate with each other. I can't remember all the details, okay? Where do you even get the details about that? Is it in The Hobbit, or that it talks about the river folk? Because, man, I haven't read The Hobbit since I was a kid. Anyway. Getting distracted. So, yeah, so Jess puts a disclaimer at the top of this thing, and I will repeat it. You know, this is the part of the trial where there's evidence submitted by the defendants, and this is going to be including the remarks talking about Brianna, like the two alleged killers. There's like all the evidence indicates that they did do this, but we're just trying to establish what level of intent they had, basically, because there's absolutely no question as to whether they did it. But yeah, so they're going to be talking about Brianna in a way that's pretty upsetting, is what I'm saying. Wow. There's just so much shit in my throat. It's fucking cedar season, apparently. Same sub if Hobbit. Oh, same sub of Hobbit as Merry and Pippin. Frodo's mother was a river folk, too. Ah, okay. I see. Truly, they said some evil shit. So, you know, enter into this with the understanding that it's going to be an unpleasant time. Okay? Cool. Good. Hit the like button. Jesus. So, let me get this nice and zoomed in so that we all can read it clearly. Yesterday, the prosecution concluded opening submissions in the murder trial concerning the death of Brianna Ghey, where 2 teenagers have been accused of the stabbing of the young girl in a park near Warrington. I don't know where that is. The teenagers, now aged 16, who were 15 at the time of Brianna's death in February this year. Jesus, that feels like it was ages ago. And it was just in February. Like, wow, holy cow, this year has been ancient. But yeah, so earlier this year, these kids were 15, and I think Brianna was 16 at the time of her death. So they've appeared in court. Reporting restrictions prevent naming the minor defendants, so X will be referring to the female defendant, and Y will be referring to the male defendant, as you do in a case defending a trial about a murder of a young trans girl. X and Y, get it? Haha. Anyway, the opening speech is that according to the official documentation, or is that cannot be an editorial decision made by Jess? There's no way. The opening speech by the prosecution: the court has so far only heard some of the evidence, with the trial expected to last 4 weeks. So the trial is expected to wrap up just before Christmas. The following is an unproven timeline of events as alleged by the prosecution. So while reading, please remember to bear in mind that the defense is yet to have its chance to respond to these claims. Okay. So, preoccupation with violence. The prosecution argued that messages between X and Y in the months leading up to Brianna Ghey's murder show a preoccupation with violence, torture, and death. Like, that's the like area that we're in right now, you know? It's not just the way that they spoke about her in particular. So, apparently they were discussing how they wanted to kill like a bunch of different people, like just different people in their lives. Very well-adjusted teenagers, for sure. One such discussion read out to the jury concerned the killing of M. During this conversation, X offered to kill him whilst Y restrained him. Like, yeah, they're just getting pretty detailed about how they want to harm people. And, one of them sent the other one a video advertising a dark web website. They discussed different methods of how they would harm people. They were trying to get a hold of real videos of people being tortured. It's hard to do that, I guess, because on their dark web you usually have to pay. Wow. So just a lot of really graphic stuff that I'm not going to get too far into details about. What's up, Uncomfy? Welcome in. So then they do start targeting Brianna specifically. Evidence presented by the prosecution appears to show multiple references to Brianna's trans identity. The pair engaged in conversations which contained transphobic slurs and other apparently trans-misogynistic content. So stuff that's like against trans women specifically. The prosecution told the jury that X, the girl, was intrigued by Brianna. In December 22, she sent messages to the boy which said, "I'm obsessed over someone I know, but I don't have feelings for them. She's called Brianna, and I don't know how to explain. Also, she has a dick, LOL." So X then sent, I think, some of Brianna's Instagram pictures to the boy, and then using slurs to refer to her. Prosecution stated that X told Y that Brianna was, quote, trans, and that she sounded like a girl and looked really pretty. So X has this, like, fascination with Brianna, really interested in her for some reason. The court heard that Y then replied that they had different tastes and therefore weren't interested, and then started describing Brianna using the pronoun it, which, you know, obviously if some people prefer that, that's fine, but, like, it can be weaponized in the same way that some people like to be called queer, but it can also be weaponized. So then they are discussing, like, the feelings that this girl is having toward Brianna. The fascination became much darker. The jury were told that X sent Y pictures of a pair of scissors and a tissue with blood on them, saying that she was going to eat human flesh, followed by a graphic message outlining how she had killed someone. So apparently, like I guess they are maybe going to have to look into whether there was other stuff happening, or did the girl just tell the boy, like, "Ooh, yeah, I did something," and then, like, nothing actually. She was just trying to impress him. Like, what the fuck is going on with you people? Okay, so Apparently, they discussed an attempt to kill Brianna by poisoning her with red ibuprofen gel tablets, which wouldn't have even worked. X claimed that she had attempted this and had given her enough to kill her, but that Brianna seemed to have a, quote, high tolerance. Interesting. The prosecution brought evidence suggesting that this method was specifically adopted because overdose would be thought to be unsuspicious because of Brianna having been, quote, depressed. Brianna had fallen ill and thrown up. Oh, okay, so this girl, like, drugged her. What happened? Did she pretend to be her friend? Like, how did she get her to eat a bunch of ibuprofen? According to evidence from prosecution, X was not lying. Brianna's mother, Esther Ghey, apparently recalled that Brianna had been sick at that time. She was in real pain and thought she was going to die, with her mother thinking it might have been appendicitis. The prosecution told the jury that Brianna's mother had noticed what she thought were grape skins in Brianna's vomit at the time, but that these may well have been the remnants of red ibuprofen gel tablets. Dude, okay, I guess I didn't realize that this was, like, a thing that was lasting so long. Like, they really, like, were not only thinking about it and talking about it for a while, but they, like, at least the girl actually attempted to kill her by overdose before the eventual stabbing. They were determined. Like, she was real determined. I feel like it's going to be really, really hard to make any argument that either one of them were not ultimately responsible. Like, because what they're going to do, as we get later on in this, is both of these teenagers are trying to make the argument that the other one sucked them into it. Like, they're trying to make the argument that the other one is actually responsible. And I just don't think that you could do that. I mean, maybe the boy could say, oh, it was the girl's idea. But since the girl apparently, like, tried to poison Brianna before, it's like, you've made multiple attempts. They're like, that shows motive on motive on motive, like premeditation and everything. You did see a Christmas tree in the background. There's a Christmas tree right here. Yeah, it's crazy. The multiple attempts, like, that's the most surprising thing to me so far about this. Anyway, goodness gracious. Okay. So the prosecution outlined further discussion concerning Brianna between these two teenagers. X noted that Brianna was still ill from the tablets she'd given her. Y responded that if it got worse, Brianna might be taken to hospital. Y suggested that X should try again, mixing together different chemicals to, quote, make it more dangerous. Y said that X might be able to add sodium hydroxide to Brianna's drink. I meant the vines were a Christmas tree, like a huge one. Oh, no. I would like to get, like, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 foot tall plastic tree. I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually, like, willing to spend money on it, though. If I see one on the curb, I'll pick one up. I don't want, like, a drying Christmas tree in my house. That doesn't sound like a good idea. The prosecution also outlined other detailed discussions where the pair planned to target other people, like going on in detail about other people that they wanted to harm. They were talking about someone else and building a noose to make it look like the other person had killed themselves, and then the girl responded by saying that they could just stab him. Y asked whether he would be able to stab, whether he would be the one who would be able to stab this other person they were talking about. So they were talking about how they could stab someone else. And then so they were like, if we can't get this other person who we've decided to stab, who they're calling E, tomorrow, then we can kill Brianna. The girl is the one driving a lot of this, and then Y allegedly agreed, stating, yeah, it'll be easier, and I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl. So, yeah, I mean, shows a pretty clear pattern of intent, and they both seem to be engaged in the discussion pretty actively, and, like, building ideas together. Wow. Prosecution then outlined discussion between the pair on how they were going to kill Brianna, and then they just were like, okay, let's go back to the original plan with this other person, E, who we were going to stab, and saying specifically that they were going to stab her in the back and the throat. The prosecution described the failure of the first attempt to meet with Brianna. X told Y that Brianna had agreed to meet in Colchith. Y replied that he would bring his knife, and X replied to ask if it was, quote, definitely sharp enough. According to prosecution, X then told Y that they would meet at 12 to rehearse the plan. After this, they would meet Brianna and would, do the violence. X asked Y to pass the knife back to her because she would want to stab Brianna at least once for fun, quote, even if she was dead. So I guess they're like, okay, the boy is going to do the main part of the stabbing, but the girl's like, yeah, but you have to give me the knife at least once. They're thrill killers. I think that is the case. Yeah, they're seeking fun in this situation. It's pretty effed up, my dudes. The court heard that when Y asked whether X would have her own knife, X confirmed that she did have a chef blade. Let's have two words, one for getting the knife ready and another to stab. Like, they're coordinating and like, okay, so when we use this code word, we're gonna start stabinating. Yeah, so Brianna canceled her plans with the pair at the last minute on the first day that they were gonna show up together. Prosecution described that the defendants continued to discuss killing Brianna on Monday, 30th January. X suggested that she could kill Brianna by giving her an overdose of cocaine, but then said, let's just stab her. It's more fun. It's more fun. It's more fun. Oh, my goodness. Okay, they had a detailed plan to kill Brianna by stabbing and then to hide her body with logs. Prosecution alleged that on Friday, 10th February, Y asked X whether X had asked, quote, it, meaning Brianna, whether she could meet the next day. X confirmed that Brianna had agreed to meet them at 1 p.m. So again, they're discussing their knives. He says, yes, this cuts my skin easily. She's asking, is that definitely 100% going to kill her? Prosecution described how the group met up on the Saturday and were captured on CCTV. On the way to the park, a bus driver noticed Brianna. He recalled that she seemed quite timid. The court heard how Brianna's mother confirmed that she was an anxious child who did not normally go out on her own. Man, that's terrible. Like, that this girl was, like, introverted, but she was, like, willing to go meet someone at a park who was asking her to come meet her, and, like, presumably this is a ruse of friendship. And she was rewarded for her bravery with probably the worst returns possible. It's just not good. It's pretty sad. So the court heard, At 1:41 p.m., Brianna sent a message to her mom saying, I'm on the bus by myself. I'm scared. Her mom replied that it was all good. Brianna and the girl were communicating using Snapchat. Some messages have been recovered showing that they were using Snapchat while they were in the park. At 3:13 p.m., witness Catherine Vise called 999 asking for the police and an ambulance, saying that someone had been attacked and that she had seen the attackers run away. Of course, paramedics attending to the scene were unable to save Brianna's life. Thanks, Cheez-It Furball. Are you talking about the screen overlay and stuff? Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty good stuff. According to prosecution, Jai's body was discovered by a couple walking their dogs, while two figures, a girl and a boy, were seen fleeing the scene. It's not disputed that the figures seen fleeing were the defendants X and Y, and that the pair had discussed killing her in previous days and weeks. The prosecution also told the court that it is accepted that Jai was killed with a knife that belonged to Y, that Y had told X he would have the knife with him on the day of Brianna's killing, and that he had also told X that it was sharp enough to kill Brianna. Like, yeah, there's just no question. In the postmortem, it was discovered that she had been stabbed 28 times, quote, subjected to a sustained and violent assault with a knife, and was told that these wounds were, quote, unsurvivable. Many of the stab wounds caused damage to bone, with the jury being told that such damage could only be caused by the use of, quote, considerable force. The jury was told of other superficial wounds which would have caused her, quote, pain and suffering. And the prosecution described other wounds, quote, consistent with defensive injuries. suggesting that Brianna had tried to defend herself as she died. And of course you would. I think obviously if there's a stabbing, there's probably not very many situations with a stabbing where you're gonna not have, defensive injuries. I'm laughing because I'm trying not to cry. So both the defendants are trying to say that they're not guilty of murder and that they didn't participate in the killing of Brianna at all, each blaming the other. The prosecution's case is that it doesn't matter whoever delivered the final fatal blows. Both defendants are equally guilty. Having acted together, they planned and executed that plan to kill her. This in UK law is called a joint enterprise. Yeah, days when I wish that hell was real, you know? Let's see. So the scene was quite gory. The jury were told that an unopened bottle of Dr. Pepper was found close to this area, that the girl's DNA was recovered from the cap. They were told that an empty bottle of Coke had been found with Y's DNA recovered from the mouthpiece and the cap. So just, confirming, there's beyond the shadow of a doubt they were at the scene. The two remained together as they made their way on foot back to Colchith. They were captured on dash cam at 3:15. Hidden in a drain outside was Brianna's mobile, her cell phone, stained with her blood. Wonder how long they're gonna be in prison. I don't know, just a quick soda before a cold-blooded murder, yeah. In the excitement, the girl left her soda undranken. Prosecution highlighted how the defendants then exchanged messages pretending to have no knowledge of Brianna's death. Man. Apparently, they tried to cover their tracks by... The girl sent a message to the boy saying, "My brother just told me not to go to the park because a woman got stabbed." And Y replied, "Jesus, really?" And then X relayed information that police officers were in the park because a woman had been murdered. Y then replied, "Holy crap." Wow. I just have nothing good to say. I really sincerely hope that the transphobia of the UK is, subdued somewhat by, some abstract sense of justice for someone who was stabbed 28 times. Was she going on a date or something? I don't know. I think that they were just, luring her there they were going to try to hang out with her. Maybe the sodas were part of, oh, let's just put her at ease or something. I don't know. And then, so they exchanged messages attempting to cover up the fact that they knew that there was something, going on at the park. Prosecution described how the defendants then continued to exchange messages later in the night, and then at 11:11 p.m., X asked Y, "Do you have anxiety about getting caught?" Y replied, "Probably." X responded, "You're not going to get caught, don't worry. Police are shite here." The next day, X sent the following messages to Brianna's account, the prosecution say, whilst knowing that she was dead, asking if she was okay, saying that some teenage girl was killed in Linear Park, saying, "Why did you ditch us for some random man from Manchester? What the fuck? That is so fucked up." So this is an attempt by X, the prosecution argues, to set up a false defense. This is the story that X was going to tell her mother and the police. Right, just trying really hard, I guess. Not that hard, because of the whole, talking about it for an extended period of time beforehand, but, Jesus. Not only who raised you in the terms of, why are you doing these things in the first place, but also who raised you in terms of, why are you stupid enough that you were texting about this for, an extended period of time before it happened? I don't know. Let's see. Apparently they said, yeah, we need to make sure our story adds up. Allegedly, X posted a picture of Brianna on Snapchat with the caption saying, "Brianna was one of the best people I have ever met and such an amazing friend. It's so fucking sickening what got done to her." You need help. A lot of it. You need some help and to be away from people for a while, I think. I think that's fair. Yeah, they thought that it was fun. I don't know if they thought it was funny, but they definitely thought that it was fun. Numerous articles were found in the defendant's bedrooms. From X's bedroom, they recovered clothing which resembled the clothes that she had been wearing on the CCTV footage. They also found a Chef Aid kitchen knife. They also found a number of handwritten notes which outlined the plan to kill Brianna. It's like, are you trying to get caught? Like, putting things in writing is just not a good call. They've never watched true crime, apparently. Neither of these kids were into true crime. As much as they were obsessed with death and murder and stuff, they were not very into true crime, which is disappointing. The court heard of another detailed plan to kill, which was also found. There were also notes about various serial killers. I've been wondering if X and Y will be tried as adults. Well, yeah, they were 15 when the events happened earlier this year, but now they're 16. And it's like, I don't really know how it works in the UK. I'm assuming that there has to be some mechanism by which if they determine that a minor is like having done something heinous enough, if they're close enough to the age of 18, like they can be tried as adults in America in different places to varying degrees and at the discretion of the judge a lot of the time, right? Yeah, so I guess the question here is like, was this a hate crime or were they just looking for an easy target they thought they could get a kick out of? Like, I think that's a good question, Noah, that they're probably going to be asking in due course over the next 4 weeks of this trial. That like, yeah, so they did use dehumanizing language to speak about her, but like, did they target her because she was trans? Well, they were kind of talking about killing multiple different people, but was that in and of itself also part of their ruse? You know what I mean? Like, did it actually not matter to them? Because it does seem to some extent like they were like, oh, we should kill this one dude, but then we're just going to do it to Brianna instead. Like, did they have any specific person that they actually wanted to harm, or did they just want to harm someone? But yeah, it's a curious question as to whether they're going to be held accountable to the same degree that an adult would be with this level of premeditation. But like, I don't think with the evidence that has been laid out so far in this write-up, I don't know that they would be able to call this specifically a hate crime. Or like, yeah, like, because I think that there's enough evidence to suggest that they were willing to target someone else. And like, I don't know if there were any. I wonder what kind of things those potential victims would have in common. Like, are they going to be predominantly from racial minorities and stuff? I don't know anything about the other people that they were talking about, obviously. Let's see. According to the prosecution, from the boy's bedroom, police recovered clothing resembling the clothing he was wearing on CCTV. A pair of his muddy shoes were also found, which had spatters of Brianna's blood on them. A black jacket was found hanging in the back of his bedroom door, also stained with blood. Like, yeah, so again, just beyond the shadow of a doubt, no question that there's evidence that they were there, multiple different angles of evidence. I think the only question is, like, how intense of a charge are they going to catch in terms of, like, yeah, is it going to be considered a hate crime? Are they tried as adults? Prosecution has alleged that the distribution of blood staining on these items suggests that Y, whilst wearing this jacket, was in close proximity to a source of airborne blood. Yeah. Yeah, they clearly put a lot of thought into getting away with it. Trans people are easy targets in every society. That's what I mean. Like, who were the other people who they were thinking of targeting? Is it going to be other girls? I think that they would have mentioned that the other potential victims that they were thinking about harming were trans. Like, I think that they would have been mentioned in these court proceedings. But I don't know. Again, like, did they look into it and, like, who are these other people? Okay. The court heard that Y was asked during a police interview about his conversations with X about Brianna and why he referred to Brianna as it. He said that he would make jokes about gayness with his friends, but he didn't actually care if anyone was gay or not. The prosecution told the jury that both defendants now accept that they were present in the park with Brianna at the time that she was killed, and Y accepts that he took his hunting knife with him. However, both now deny that they inflicted any injury upon her. prosecution explained that in the UK law, a person can be guilty of murder even though they do not administer the fatal blow if they do assist or encourage another person to commit the offense, and if they do so intending that the offense be committed. So even if the boy was the one who did most of the stabbing, then the girl would still be very guilty because she prompted it. If only criminal law was focused on rehab instead. I both don't want them to get away with it, but I don't want them to be tormented. I mean, that's the struggle with attempting to set up a system of justice, is because you do have the urge to be like, well, yeah, these people need to suffer a lot. Like, that's the urge that I have, is like, these two people have something wrong with them and they need to be away from people, and they should get what she got, like, in eternal hell, where they will always have their injuries healed and only have to experience the pain over and over again. Because, like, but that's, like, different than how we want to run a society, right? If we had, like, a good society, then the thing, you know, obviously then, like, the transphobia itself would have been addressed beforehand. Like, maybe weird behavior from these two kids would have been noticed sooner. That would have been great. Like, preventative measures would have been great in the first place, right? But it would be good if we had a system by which we could go, okay, so you two are real fucked up mentally, and we should, like, fix that if we can. So why don't we put you in, like, rehabilitative therapy away from society for a long time? So it's hard to say, like, what's the right choice to make, because you have that emotional urge. But, like, how we structure a society can't be based on our emotional desire for, like, vengeance, basically, like, to bring about some kind of sense of karmic justice or something. I do think, like, that they, you know, I think in this system, if they get off with, like, a lesser sentence because of their age, I think that that is gonna really be a stick in the craw of the already extremely stressed out trans UK population. Like, I don't know how people would respond to that, you know what I mean? Is there rehab for people who plan murder thinking it's funny and then who mock it afterwards? Kind of different than a crime of passion or something. Well, like, if this is because of some actual case of sociopathy or psychopathy or something, like, if there is something broken in their brains, then that needs to be assessed professionally, and treatment for those things needs to be attempted, right? And if it's determined that, like, oh, okay, you're just fundamentally the kind of person who thinks that killing someone is funny, then, okay, yeah, we can discuss longer-term separation from society. I think that that's fair. You know? Like, the glee with which they're taking part in this crime is one of the things that I think is going to really fly in the face of any attempt to minimize. Like, this is all the prosecution, by the way. This is all the prosecution saying, hey, this is our case. We think that, like, this is what happened. This is the data that we have had disclosed to us from the defendants. And that's not the same as, like, you know, the defense speaking in their defense, right? We still have yet to get to that point. So, and I don't even know if this is the end. Oh, okay, so here, like, we are getting to the end of this day in court, right? So the prosecution explained, blah, 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 you can be guilty. The prosecution argues that the evidence clearly demonstrates that the defendants acted together to bring about Brianna's death and that they intended to kill her. As a result of this, the prosecution argues that the jury can be sure both defendants are guilty of murder. Trial will continue. We will hear from the defense, who will respond to what the prosecution has alleged above. We will be getting more updates on this as things proceed. So I don't know if that's, I guess that's sort of the prosecution was able to sort of lay out their whole case. Like, here's all of the info that we have. Here's opening arguments, whatever, boom, 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 boom. Like, we can talk about the nitty gritties. But, like, that's the info. That's the data. That's what happened. And then, yeah, wrapping it up saying, like, okay, given all this evidence, I think it's pretty obvious that they're guilty of murder. And they're not trying to argue. It seems worthy to note that the prosecution is arguing that the jury can be sure both defendants are guilty of murder. They are not invoking the hate crime at this time, at least. At least, like, based on this, the prosecution does not seem to be going after a potential hate crime charge. I don't want them to suffer. I just think that doing this at such an age that they aren't safe to have wandering around till they feel like it again. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like, removal from society for a period of time seems warranted, if nothing else. And hopefully, I mean, I don't know what the system is like in the UK at all. It's like, so long as it's a punitive system, I do hope that they get enough time that they grow out of whatever crazy shit is wrong with them, you know? Like, but realistically, they're just gonna get worse. Like, I think realistically, people like this, in the absence of a more robust system to address, like, what wires got crossed in your brain that your moral drive doesn't include the protection of other human life, you know? Like, oh, Griffey, you've come in at the end of a very bad segment. Necessary to talk about, though. I don't know if you heard earlier this year in February, this 16-year-old teenage trans girl stabbed to death in a park in the UK. And it was by two teenage classmates of hers. And now we're doing the murder trial. You're good. You're good. So we're kind of wrapping toward the end of this, though, because, like, I don't have a lot of additional commentary at this time. We can hope that some form of justice gets meted out for this. We can hope that the media is going to be decent about this. It seems like the decent is not going to be very decent about this. Is the media, like the newspapers there, they keep posting all these anti-trans articles, like these opinion pieces, like attacking trans women, like attacking trans rights, saying that, we need to rewrite the law that protects people, like the Equality Act or whatever. And those same newspapers are now like, headlines, Brianna Ghey, like, see, like, moment to moment, what's going to happen here. And it's like, all right, man, like, okay, just, like, capitalize in every manner in the worst way possible and sensationalize, like publishing her face everywhere after all the harm that has been done to, like, the reputation of trans people in the media is, like, pretty horrendous. The way that transphobes are reacting to this is awful. Anti-trans propaganda is all about aiming people like these kids at trans people. I haven't seen any of the anti-trans response to this. I've been using the block function very, very, very liberally since Elon acquired the platform. And that is making it somewhat livable to be on the platform. Although it's not, like, my favorite place to be, and I'm really not on there anymore. I'm not really posting my Twitter on my social media stuff anymore. Like, I just made a new merch website, and my Twitter is not linked on my new merch website because, like, I don't want to drive more, like, traffic to their website. Anyway, so I haven't been seeing much of the anti-trans response to this. I'm sure that it's horrendous. There are some people who are praising the killers in some online spaces. Yeah. And I'm sure that folks are dead naming her and, like, being horrendous about the whole thing and dishonoring her memory in all kinds of ways. So, yeah, they just don't have any thing left inside them, I don't think. Is what I'm gonna end on. Elon Musk just said that advertisers can go fuck themselves for dropping out over his anti-Semitism. So things are going well for him. Things are going so well. Oh my God, you just won't believe. Things are going so well. He's like, oh, if you guys want to pull out of advertising for me because of all my all of my weird bigotry, like, oh, sucks to be you. We don't need you anymore. Whatever, I got billions of dollars. I don't need you anymore. His masterful gambits. It's true. I'm not mad. Please don't put in the newspaper that I got mad. There is nothing funnier to me. Okay, there's probably something funnier to me, but in this moment, there is nothing funnier to me than, like, you know those shows that it's like, I don't even know if they're real podcasts, but they present themselves like it's a podcast, and you'll see like it's in vertical and it's like a guy talking and another guy talking and then a woman talking or whatever, and they're like, there's all kinds of different subjects, and the algorithm tries to throw all kinds of different ones at you to see which ones you'll sit there and watch. And I saw one that was like, this woman was like needling this man somehow, and it was really, he was like, you could tell that he was really, really mad, but he was like having to control his reaction because she was calling him triggered. So basically, like, the whole concept of being triggered has now made men have to check their anger because they will just be called triggered, and they're like, that would be the most terrible. They can't do it. It's really funny to me, these guys who are like, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not mad. Like, I'm genuinely, I'm not mad. And you can just tell they're fuming. Like, I'm not triggered. I assure you that I'm not triggered. Shit's so funny. They don't like it when you talk to them the way they talk to women. I mean, I don't think, well, yeah, it is don't get so hysterical by a different name, right? But because it's gender neutral, like, because triggered can be applied to anyone. And like, again, obviously triggered is intended to refer to actual, like, a phobia or a trauma memory being like activated, right? But yeah, they, I don't know. It just cracks me up a little bit, I guess, that because of the prevalence of this concept of triggered, even though it's being misused and trivializing real mental health episodes, it is still useful in that way, where it's like, no, like, men don't have the freedom. That's the thing that they're dealing with. They're dealing with the pressure of being like policed by people for having emotions. So they don't have the freedom to just be angry, because then people will be like, wow, you're so triggered. And that's the thing, because that's the meaning of the word now. Triggered doesn't mean I'm having a PTSD episode. People use triggered when they're saying that SJWs are triggered or whatever. They're saying, oh, you're LOL, you're so mad, bro. Basically, lol, you're so mad, bro. And so, yeah, it is specifically anger that is being policed by the phrase triggered. Women need to check their anger. I'm looking at you, TikTok hotheads. women need to chill. Matt Walsh moment. True. Oh my goodness. Just for a random little aside, before we move on into our next political segment, I would like to know, what are your ideas for if you wanted a little pet that you didn't have to take out of the tank? What would you want? Like lizards, geckos, frogs, jumping spiders. What are they called? What are these called? The hermit crabs. Hamster? But you need to, like, if it's a mammal, it needs to be interacted with, right? Ooh, clownfish? Yeah. I bet it's tough to keep clownfish because they're tropical fish and they probably have, like, pretty unique needs. Also, you'd have to have a saltwater tank, which requires, like, specific maintenance. But that would still be a lot of fun. Iguana or tarantula. I love floofy spooters. Tarantulas are not floofy. They're spiny. They would stab. I think an eel would be cool. Eels would be cool. Lizards are nice. Yes. I mean, I think some lizards you would want to like have them out. Um, I just want a miniature coral reef. Oh, that would be so cool. Honestly, Gayfesh, I was thinking, like, do I want an aquarium not for fish in it, but just for plants? Like, because if you add fish to it, then you have to start, like, changing the water out on a regular basis. But if you just have plants, then it's usually, like, it's a little bit more biostable. Because they're not, because the fish piss out ammonia, and so you have to take out the ammonia every once in a while. Ammonium? Ammonia. I don't remember which one it is. Saltwater tank's very expensive, yeah. Anemones. Anemones. Bearded dragons are good pets. Yeah, they do need a little bit of exercise, right? You do need to, like, let them out and maybe, like, cuddle with them sometime. Fish do be pissing. It's annoying. I want my own lesbian gecko army, but that wouldn't fit in the tank policy. You know, they have to fit in the tank. Noah keeps fish. What kind of fish do you keep? Snake. Well, you have to, like, interact with a snake. If you keep snakes, you have to interact with them, because otherwise they will try to attack you when you feed them. Like, you do still have to, oh my god, there's a particular word for it. I can't remember what the word is. Like, you have to, oh yeah, you have to, like, socialize them a little bit. I remember my sister was devastated when she had to get rid of her hermit crabs in college because they are, quote, not aquatic pets, which is bullshit. Even if there's no water in the tank, they don't really need it. Like, why only aquatic pets? I think it's because, yeah, if you say it's a pet in a tank, then it could be a hamster, and what they don't want is for your hamster to get out and start pooping everywhere, or for your snake to get out and get in the walls or something. So I think they'd have to specify, like, a plant, an animal that stays in the tank at all times, but instead they just switch to saying you can only do an aquatic one, because I guess they're like, oh, for sure you're not going to take any pet out of the water tank. Oh no, I dropped my hair tie. No, come back. Hair tie. My friend snuck her snake into college. Naughty. You're so naughty. I like seeing time lapses of starfish and the moving trees. Yeah, the other thing, I think even if you had a just plants aquarium, you would need to do, like, there would need to be some kind of oxygenation of the water. So you would need some kind of bubbler going. And that's the question, is like, am I willing to listen to the sound of a bubbler all the time? Like, no, I don't think I want to listen to that sound all the time. If I could keep it in a room that wasn't my office, then sure, maybe. I saw this girl on TV that keeps cockroaches as pets. I saw that on Facebook the other day. Yeah, I think I would be probably not enthusiastic if cockroaches were on the menu as far as pets that we were thinking about keeping in our place. Like, I just don't think that would be ideal. IDKY, but I get entranced watching those little aquatic snails travel across the glass. Snails reproduce way too fast. You have to cull them. You have to pull them out and freeze them sometimes. Maybe one roach? No. I'm thinking about a jumping spider. I think jumping spider would be a cute little pet. My isopods don't require very much maintenance, but they also don't interact with you at all. They don't really want you to be around. They're like, no, I would like you to go away, please. You should play webbed. I know. It's on my wish list. Did I buy it the other day? I don't think I did. But it's on my wish list. I follow the developer. I know, jumping spiders are the cutest. They can look at you. They're like, they move their little heads around. They're adorable. I don't know what goes into their care. I feel like it's got to be pretty minimal, but, like, how do feed them? Can I buy fucking crickets and then freeze the crickets and give the jumping spider frozen crickets, or is that going to be too big? Because there's no way that I'm going to be able to get, like, fruit flies and raise them. Like, you have to do that for certain small species of frogs. Crickets work? Okay. Because, like, a jumping spider would be pretty easy for me to make an enclosure for. I think it's because their eyes are mostly front-facing, and they have 2 large main ones. That's what makes them cuter than other spiders. It's their eyes, and it's also, like, their fuzziness, and their body dimensions are a little bit different from other spiders. Like, the way that they move around and stuff is just got so much personality. I don't know if you can freeze the crickets. The jumping spider that we are babysitting has live crickets that its dad bought. Okay. Their legs aren't spindly. They keep them close to their body. Yeah, they're like, they're all tucked in close. Adorable. Komodo dragons only have bacteria in their bites in nature. They have no venom or poison. Do they really? But they have, like, a lot of... I thought they were venomous. I really thought they were. Rainbow frogs are fun. Lots of beautiful color ones, but they need to stay in because they dry out quick. Yeah, mostly if you get frogs, you are not meant to interact with them. Mostly if you get frogs, especially the small, beautiful ones, they're delicate and they need to just be in the cage, in the humidity. I've wanted a caracol as a pet. No, you can't have one. Jumping spiders do complex math to jump, and they also use webs to slow their descent and aim properly. I love these animal discussions that we have sometimes. They're lots of fun. I just like getting on a little bit of a derail. Bacteria from the Komodo dragon will kill you within hours. They bite and then wait for you to die of the infection. They were thought to have infections due to how slow the bite kills and the fact that they lack fangs to inject. Yeah, it's like they don't have, like, fangs, but they bite and tear. So they, like, tear the skin, and then it's like their saliva has the venom that then gets into your system that way. Whoa, god damn it, I'm keeping my fingers preoccupied by playing with my hair tie, but that means I keep dropping my hair tie. Is it really just bacterial? I don't... Listen. Are you gonna make me Google this? Yeah, they have a venom gland in their lower jaw. So in addition to the harmful bacteria in their bite, the venom prevents the blood from clotting, which causes massive blood loss and also induces shock. Caracol mentioned somehow reminds me there's a theory that Garfield is actually a serval cat. That's adorable. Chameleons remind me a lot of the Lizalfos. I think that the Lizalfos are... Their little fucking eyeballs are definitely chameleon-ish. Yeah, even if you don't think that you're a pet owner, you all have pets in the form of microscopic mites in your eyebrows. Box turtles? Yeah, I was wondering, with turtles, like, do you need to let them out and to run around? Like, I'm assuming that they can't just be in the cage 100% of the time. Remember that those mites are arachnids, so you basically have a spider face. Spider face. The music that just started violently playing in my head was from Undertale. The Spider Queen. Which is, like, one of my favorite songs, I think, from the whole game. Are we gonna see Matt's egg crack? Maybe. We are all Spider-Man, truly. I'm Spider-Man. And I'm Spider-Man. And I'm Spider-Man. We're all Spider-Man. You can also do an algae farm in a 5-gallon bucket to clean out your fish water. Yeah, but now we're adding on to stuff, and it's like, no, I don't need all this maintenance. Like, the only plants that I have are like plants that can tolerate me just ignoring them for an extended period of time, you know? I could do with a tapeworm. No. Seahorses are the best, most expensive, fragile pets I can think of. Why are they the best pets? They're pretty cute. I love when they're sleeping, they like wrap their little tails around something and then they're just like... I went to the aquarium last year, or earlier this year. Nope. Holy shit, that was earlier this year. Wow. Yeah, that was in March. I went to the aquarium in March. Wow. Yeah, so I went to the aquarium and I got to see some seahorses. They're very cute. Blue sea dragons are beautiful, but only live 1 year and are extremely painful. Yeah, aren't those sea slugs? Theories suggest that the T-Rex may have been one of the first dinosaurs to use bacteria as a weapon via a septic bite. Neat. 90% of my plants take care of mostly themselves and can last a long time being ignored. Aloes and philodendrons are my faves. Or pleodendrons, not philodendrons. I can't read. My aloe, yeah, is the plant that I've had the longest out of all my plants right now. I have a bunch of snake plants. Snake plants don't mind. Oh, you did mean philodendrons. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I did. I auto-corrected. So I understood what you were saying. Good. Auto-correct in my brain. I have the opposite of dyslexia, where y'all fuck up what you're saying and I just auto-correct it to what it should be. I'd love to get a Gambian pouched rat. Oh, they look pretty cute. You look like a cute little friend. But again, I don't want to have to get it out and touch it. What's the assignment? My Google thing keeps showing me that Sans is in Among Us now. Oh no. I do that, but not consciously, right? Aloe is a great plant pet herb. Do you mean for plants to eat? Honestly, I appreciate you verbally correcting my mad typos. As a dyslexic, it's helpful. I mean, yeah, it's not always on purpose. I'm getting my Monstera started. Oh, no. Peace out. I don't want a Monstera. Those things are fucking huge. I don't need that. I don't need that temperamentality in my life. Also a blushing philodendron with 14-inch long leaves. No. Is anyone else somewhat afraid of butterflies and moths? Not really. I actually really like both butterflies and moths. I did an insect pinning class not too long ago, and so I am now the proud owner of a couple of dried butterflies. I do like moths though. I'm not interested in moths enough to do the like moth tattoo that's so popular right now, but they are pretty cute. Dyslexics and reverse dyslexics joining hands. We're doing it. I'm terrified of butterflies, however, moths are cuties. Interesting. That's two people. One person in YouTube chat and one person on the website says, not moths, but I have negative feelings about butterflies. Weird. I would not have guessed that. You can use aloe and oxygenate your room and it lives a long time. Oh, yeah. Like, plants that are really good for cleaning your air. Snake plants are really good for cleaning your air. Spider plants are really good for cleaning your air. Chrysanthemums are pretty good. And there's a few others that are pretty solid at cleaning your air and are safe for cats to be around. And yeah. I just, you know, creating oxygen, cleaning shit out of your air. It's not going to do the job of a Corsi Rosenthal filter, of course, but like you still need to filter like mold and stuff out of your air, but cats will also not eat fills. I also love bats a ton. Oh my god. Bats are adorable, right? They're so cute, but I understand now that they're the worst animal. They're the worst mammal to ever have an interaction with. Like, if you go to a bat sanctuary and the only bats you interact with are bats that were like born there and have never come into contact with wild bats, then okay, that's probably fine. However, Bats do not have immune systems. So if they get infected with something, it just is inside them and it mutates, and they don't have a fever response or anything. They're just petri dish mutation ground for horrendous diseases. So that's why rats are the worst. Or sorry, bats are the worst. I think betas are the best low maintenance animal. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and so a beta only requires like approximately a 10-gallon tank, which is like, I don't know, about a foot by a foot by a foot, like 10-gallon tank. Yeah, they maybe a little bit more than a foot, maybe more like 18 inches cubed. But they don't work, one beta for one 10-gallon tank is an appropriate amount of space for one fish. And yeah, the betas are super cute too, because you can like take your little pencil eraser or even the tip of your finger and like go along the glass and they'll follow it and like play. I also saw a video of a girl who taught her beta how to do tricks, like how to jump out of the water a tiny bit to catch a treat, which I think is that's a stupid thing to teach your fucking fish how to do. Like, oh, let me teach my fish how to kill itself. Smart. Because I've heard of fish doing that, of fish just like jumping out of their tanks, which is why they need a screen top, or for the water level to be low enough that they can't do that. The bats like to fly around in view of my window while the sun is setting. You can also keep them in a large glass tank and put, oh, sorry, you switched. You can also keep them in a large glass tank and put water rooting plants in there. Keeps the tank clean. I switched between bats and betas, yes. Yeah, so I think the idea for me, if I were to get an aquarium, would be to set the plants up first and then like have that be a fully sustainable system, and then maybe introduce one fish or like a water dog or something like that, so that it's like, ideally enough plants in there that they're eating the ammonia and then the water doesn't need to be changed, or doesn't need to be changed as regularly. Like, that would be the ideal aquarium situation. And I do still think about it sometimes. I do mull it over sometimes. But I haven't made any moves to make that happen, because there's other stuff that I would rather have. Am I really going to move an aquarium across the country? If I move across the country in a year, like, no, I'm not really going to do all that. The bees, the 3 Bs, bats, betas, and bamboo. Bamboo is good for cleaning the water. Okay, good to know. Yeah, that's the thing. I would love corals and anemones and like those beautiful, like brightly colored, all kinds of different stuff. But like, yeah, the logistics of having a saltwater tank, because the mineral deposit buildup, like I'm sure that all of the equipment has to be special made for it. For $50, you can get a beta tank designed for growing herbs on top. Almost no maintenance. Oh, so because they also eat the poop. But how big is it? Because it needs to be 10 gallons for one fish, for one beta fish. This is the thing. People don't know this. Fish, by and large, are dramatically under taken care of. You like go into a store, a pet store, and you see a really sad puppy who, like, doesn't have any toys in his cage, and you're like, oh, that's so sad. And he's in a tiny little kennel that's barely big enough for him to turn around, and he can't stand up, and you're like, oh, that's so sad. But those are the conditions that we keep fish in, by and large, for the most part. You go to the store, and they're in these tiny little things, and they're in there for extended periods of time as they're like waiting for someone to buy them. About 10 gallons, about a laptop in base dimensions, and then needs space and light above. Okay, that makes sense. Best part of living near the ocean, even north, there are gorgeous corals and anemones, and so many starfish. Jelly. It's pretty in the ocean. I haven't been to the ocean since I was a little kid. I don't know that sounds appealing to me at all right this moment. Definitely beautiful, pretty things there. Not sure if it's a place where I want to be for any reason. Like, oh, the ocean. Let me just get, like, a bunch of sand in my fucking trunks right now. Oh, of course, and it's super cold at the moment. Yeah. I just meant in general. Like, do I want to go to the ocean in general? If you're here and you haven't yet hit the like button, consider hitting the like button. You know? We've been having some enjoyable streams lately. We kind of meander between talking about politics stuff and talking about less serious topics. I'm not sure if there's been rumors of Great Lakes sharks. Oh, no, I don't think so. Ocean is too big. It doesn't have to be that big. Doesn't have to be that big. Would you fire up a cozy Lux channel for segments like these? So I have my gaming channel, and I am thinking about starting to upload my gaming segments to that, but probably with minimal effort put in. Like, I'm not gonna try really hard to edit them down. But, like, I don't know, like, these segments are so, they're just so unstructured. So, some of what's happening lately is I will take a short bit from one of these kind of discussions, and I will post it as a short. And then I'll have it link back to the original live stream. But yeah, I don't know if I have the capacity to do editing of, like, the cute, funny segments. I'm, like, I have my Steve Irwin segment that's gonna go up tomorrow, and that's technically, like, a feel-good segment, except that we also talked about, you know, Steve's lasting legacy, and if he were alive today, he would be a fierce advocate against climate change and stuff like that. So it does end up being a political video, but we are also talking about Steve Irwin, you know? It's just so relaxing in the face of all the stuff going on. There's a reason why the full VODs are available, okay? Like, they're all public. I mean, I guess I do still have to upload a bunch from last year, actually, that I forgot to make public. But yeah, I mean, you can always come back for the full time. I went down to Corpus Christi the other day and just sat and looked at the ocean for a bit. Something so vast is pretty cool to look at. It is nice. Have you considered getting a self-contained biosphere setup with some plants and dwarf frogs, etc.? I mean, I technically have that. Like a self-contained biosphere. Well, no, I don't. Because, like, I don't actually know if those are very sustainable for you to, like, put a set amount of water in there and then expect it to, like, never need to be watered again. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the VODs are always public on the channel. I mean, you can always, like, watch the full VOD the next day if you're not here for the live stream. I used to do that a lot, actually. I used to listen to my own stream the next day a lot of the time. I would, like, just put it on and be, like, in the background doing stuff. Like, cleaning or whatever. I don't know why I was doing that, but that's what they're good for. Okay. I am going to take a little water bathroom break. And when I get back, I'm going to put on Hassan while we're gone. And when I get back, we're going to move into our next topic. I like being here live because you read the dumb shit that I type. True. I do that. I think jellyfish is good for brain function. I don't know. I haven't heard. Oh, hey, there's an arguing with my uncle again. What is it about this time? Presidential candidate and uncle Jenk, I don't know how to pronounce Jenk's last name, came on the broadcast for the yearly Thanksgiving debate. I'm going to read the comments a little bit. What do they talk about in this? Are there chapters? No, Hassan doesn't have chapters. Me neither. Uyghur. I saw a guy who was the spitting image of Hassan at the gym today. Nice. Uyghur? I don't know. Listen, I don't want to vote for Biden, so I'm gonna vote for Jenk. That's what I've decided to do. I guess they don't talk about the trans issue at all on this one. I would hope not, anyway. Because, like, I don't need to actually respond to this, right? I just get to let it play while I'm going to the bathroom. I know. Jank is the worst. He's the worst. You grr, I grr. Grr. If we get to the new stream goal of $100, I will put the horns on, if you want. They don't talk about trans stuff and they don't really argue much. Okay, so I guess this is Hassan just giving his uncle a chance to plug his political career. Like, to plug his... He's plugging the presidential campaign, right? That's all? That's all he's doing? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna do this for a second and put it over here. And we'll keep shit going here. Just vote for Biden and get rid of reps so I can split the party and finally have my progressive party. Excuse me. No. Okay. Briefly, my sweets. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to bring to you presidential candidate Cenk Uygur. He's in the building. First ever naturalized U.S. citizen running for office. It's the Thanksgiving treat at this point. You know, you have turkey, you watch football, maybe you toss the pigskin around yourself. And I and my uncle get together and have a Cenk-off. That's right, a real uncle-nephew standoff. That's right. Not true Ted Cruz ran in 2016, doesn't matter. Those were all technically still considered natural-born U.S. citizens, apparently. I did not know this. He does. Actually, yeah, let's get started with that. I told you George Romney was born in Mexico, and therefore, he was not eligible in the same way that you weren't, but you said, no, that's actually not the case. George Romney had, like, another, like, legal way of getting in, and the only person was, what, Barry Goldwater?
Yeah, so everybody has an excuse. John McCain was born in Panama, but he was born on a military base. Ted Cruz claims that his mom was an American citizen.
What do you mean claims? Is not the case?
No, because she was voting Canadian elections at the time. So that's actually on the record. So Ted Cruz should have never been allowed to.
What the?
Ted Cruz is not even a citizen. He never got naturalized.
Bro, you're coming in hot right now, though.
Yeah. So since he never got naturalized, he's actually not even a citizen. He shouldn't even be a senator, let alone
That's crazy.
running for president. He claimed that his mom was a citizen at the time he was born, which would give him the excuse. George Romney's the same way. Barry Goldwater was born in the Arizona Territory and was not a natural-born citizen. So I don't know what excuse they're using for him, but it's not in the Constitution. Bottom line is, guys, 14th Amendment says all persons born or naturalized have due process and equal protection. Anyone out there who's like, oh, did you read the Constitution, man? Oh, you know what? I hadn't read it until a troll on Twitter told me. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, I should have checked, right? No, did you read the part? Do you understand what it means to amend something, amend the Constitution? And it says very clearly, born or naturalized, equal protection. It's super clear.
But have you considered the fact that I'm racist?
Another one I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there is actually a movement online called Don't Care, Still Voting for Cenk. That's right. I don't know if you were aware of this or not.
I actually am not.
How do you get rid of Hamas?
Let's take a look.
If you don't do it the way Israel is currently doing it, albeit with...
You do what America did with the Osama bin Laden. We didn't go drop a nuke on Pakistan. We didn't go destroy 6,000 residential buildings in the middle of Pakistan. We sent in special forces. Is it more dangerous to the special forces? Of course. That's the point of special forces. Try to find the hostages. Does it look like Israel's trying to find the hostages? If I have a family member that's a hostage, I'm disgusted by what Netanyahu's doing now. How do you know they're not in the buildings you're dropping bombs on? How do you know they're not in the tunnels you're dropping bombs on? How do you know they're not in the hospitals you're dropping bombs on? So if you want the hostages rescued, every rational human being can agree this is not the way to do it. This is the way to do death and destruction for the sake of death and destruction. It's collective punishment. It's genocide against Palestinians. And the world has to speak out. So my way is not pleasant either. It involves a lot of folks dying on both sides. I understand that. Those are super hard choices. But go find Hamas. Go find the hostages. Go rescue them instead of wantonly, indiscriminately, killing after killing. And let's be honest, when you drop a bomb and a kid's head explodes and a grandmother is incinerated, That is terrorism.
Don't care, still voting for Cenk. That video that we just watched has 370,000 likes on TikTok.
That segment got over 4 million views on YouTube.
Yeah, you killed it. Obviously, you and I have, I guess, some disagreements on that. I think, like, the best way to deal with the situation is to negotiate and do the exact opposite. That was my perspective after 9/11 as well. People have often asked me, you know, what should have America done? And I'm like, literally the opposite of what they did, which I think you would agree with as well. Do you think America should have invaded Afghanistan after 9/11?
Well, that's a complicated one. Iraq, obviously not. So for Afghanistan, it depends on what version of the story you believe. Did they actually offer up bin Laden or didn't they? If they offered up bin Laden, then it's a no-brainer. You take bin Laden, you don't invade Afghanistan for no reason.
Well, they offered up bin Laden before, as a matter of fact, before 9/11, 9/10 specifically, was when, what's the guy? Ahmed Shah Massoud was the leader of the Northern Allegiance, right? And he famously, before his assassination, as an Afghan politician and military commander, one of the Mujahideen that was obviously another rugged anti-Soviet fighter, but obviously the Mujahideen were a collection of different forces that were not aligned with one another ideologically. There was like different sects, different opinions. Following the rise of the Taliban in 1996, Massoud was a rejectioner of the Taliban's fundamentalist interpretation of Islam, and he was a leader of the Northern Alliance, and he told America that he wanted to give up Osama bin Laden, and then he was executed because the CIA leaked his location in still disputed claims on whether or not it was deliberately done, who knows, but the CIA leaked his location, and then he was assassinated by Al-Qaeda that found his information and portrayed them.
Okay, we're back. Hello. Did Hassan keep you company? Did Hassan and Cenk keep you company for a few minutes? Yeah? I hope so. I hope that you enjoyed. Oh, did he actually say the name? Okay, I'll find out later. I'm not gonna go back and check. Rare Cenk win? No. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. I didn't hear you say that. Nah. No. Put my fingers in my ears. I know hear you say that. Anyway, hello. I like how Cenk will accuse people of being clout chasers when they support trans rights, and then he goes and does this garbage campaign, which can only be for clout. Like, there's no way he thinks he can win, right? There's no way. I don't think that it's possible for him. No. I'm assuming that he's not dumb enough to be, like, not a U.S. citizen, right? Like, he was born here, right? I'm assuming. By Cenk W, I just mean something not completely and utterly unhinged. Fair enough, okay? All right, let's move to our next segment, okay? Even if he can't win, he really just wants Biden out. Oh, okay, so he's willing to sabotage the Democratic Party so long as it means that Trump wins? He is naturalized. But I thought that mean you can't be president. I thought that you could only be president if you were born here. Because, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger guy is, like, he's a U.S. citizen, but he can't run for prez. Am I wrong? Am I losing my mind? Have I lost my marbles? He only wants there to be a better candidate for the Democrats to win. He's arguing a 14th Amendment thing. Oh, okay, cool. Well, Godspeed. Good luck to him. Good luck on your completely failed attempt to become president, Cenk. We'll leave that open in case we need it later, you know. Goodness gracious. Okay, let's move on to our next item. The original intent of not allowing people not born a citizen was that most slaves were naturalized citizens rather than being people born here. Okay, fair enough. That's pretty dumb. Yes, Mickey. Salute. Okay, so... Oh, so before we go too much further, I will also say, like, you know, the usual things. Check out the Patreon. There's free content over there, and for just $1 a month, you can get access to, between now and Christmas, if you become a patron, you get access to an exclusive merch code, for, like, 5% off your merch purchase at my new website. I don't know. Something like that. You go check out the Patreon and the merch store. And we will start talking about what should we do next, Ohio or Florida? That's the question. Ohio or Florida? Which one are we doing, babes? Which way are we going? I'm bringing the microphone closer to my face because it's picking me up so quiet lately, and I don't know why. And I've run out of recourse for ways that I can up the, like, I don't think there's any way for me to, like, adjust the gain or anything on the Go XLR stuff. Like, it's as high as it goes. Everything is as up as it goes. So I'm just like, okay, well, maybe you just need to be a little bit closer to my face now, okay? But not so close as to be able to see my isopod sticker. That's for me. That's for me. That's private. Don't look at it. That's not for you. Welcome back, Mersh. No, it's not okay that you got disconnected. Florida sounds scary. Let's fucking go. My heart is in Ohio. Buggy? No Smuggy Buggy. Smuggy Buggy is the no, I'm not dressing up as a slutty isopod for Christmas. I'm not doing, okay? I know you really want me to, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna do that. No. Can we get to 100 likes today? Maybe we can get to 100 likes. I don't know. If you haven't, maybe consider doing it. It's free. It's easy. It's quick. Don't forget all the legs. No, I'm not going to dress up as a slutty isopod. I'm not going to do it. QAnon Shaman is running for Congress, and if he's successful, he's going to pass laws that protect traitors like him from consequences. Oh, I'm sure. But, like, I was listening to a legal video about how they're actually, like, the president is, I think, the only person in the entirety of the proceedings who there is, like, any question as to whether he participated in an insurrection. Like, there's, like, legally basically no question as to whether what happened on January 6th was an insurrection. It definitely was. Definitionally, legally, it was. But the only question is whether Trump can be held liable, because technically speaking, there is a legal question as to whether the president counts as, quote, an officer of the United States. Like, obviously the presidency is an office of the United States, but in many interpretations it has been the case that an officer of the United States is someone who is appointed, and we generally don't refer to elected officials as officers of the US government. So that there is, like, a question as to whether Trump technically counts as a person who you can pull up on insurrection charges because of this legal discrepancy. But Trump himself has admitted in the proceedings that that the president is an officer of the United States. So based on his interpretation and admission, he viewed himself while president as an officer of the United States. Therefore, he would be subject to those, insurrection rules. That's what I pulled away from the legal video anyway. Thanks, Devin. I finally remembered his name. For the longest time, I thought it was Derek, but it's Devin. It's Devin. Commander-in-Chief. Chief is an officer title. Yeah, I'm just saying that that's like the only, but like someone like QAnon Shaman, there shouldn't be any question as to whether he is allowed to run for office. Like, he shouldn't be allowed to run for office because there's no question that his actions were taking part in an insurrection. What is Devin's last name? I don't know. I can barely remember that his first name is Devin. I don't know his last name. He's from the channel Legal. You know who I'm talking about. I don't know. If you get in touch with his law firm, you can probably find out his last name. What do we do? Are we doing Don't Say Gay? Or are we doing Ohio? I'm not actually expecting the Ohio thing to be very exciting, so maybe we'll do Ohio first. Legal, true. That was a good one. Welcome in. His name is Devin Stone. Is it really? That's a cool name. Devin Stone is like almost a porn name. Not gonna lie. I don't know why, but it's just real strong. Devin Stone. Wow. Cause he rock hard. Exactly. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cause he rock hard. True. You're welcome, Devin. I didn't intend to talk about Devin and his porn name, but that's where we are today. Hit the like button. Getting my last name changed to Lalonde because it's slutty and Homestuck fans will know what's up. You know, you can have that. You can have that. No, I don't want Devin's first acknowledgement of my existence to be... Sorry, Legal Devin Eagle. True, that's his full name. Yeah, no, I don't want his first acknowledgement of my existence to be me talking about how Devin Stone is a real strong porn name. But he's just a well-chiseled guy. Yeah, the thing is that Devin Stone, if that's your porn name, you have to be like taking Viagra regularly, basically, and you have to be like extremely muscular. Like, you have to be cut. As the person with an actual porn name, I claim authority on this subject. Do you think Devin Stone, do you agree with me, Mama? That Devin Stone is a good, strong porn name? It just cracks me up. The V, I know, Andes, I know. All right, calm down. Keep it in your pants, everybody. Keep it under wraps. I just found out a few days ago that I'm 14 stone. I don't remember what that means. Is stone like roughly 20 kilos? How much is a stone? 1 stone equals 14 pounds. Okay. Yeah. I can never remember. I'm fat. I mean, like 14 times 14. Yeah. Sending everyone to horny jail. Do not pass go. I need a bonker. I need something with which to bonk. I need more props around my desk. I've got like my blue light filtering screen glasses that I can like use for props. They're very dirty. I don't have as many props around my area. Here's my pee-pee prop. Pee-pee. I like glasses on UTBH. Yeah. I'm going to get evaluated this winter, I think, if I can afford it, to figure out if my vision is starting to deteriorate. Because it seems like sometimes things far away, not as clear as they used to be. But it's kind of hard to tell because your brain compensates a lot, you know? You really do need a smashing object for physical comedy. Right. I need, like, a wiffle bat. I think that's exactly what I need, is a wiffle bat, just for bonking purposes. For now, I'm just going to have to type bonk in the chat. That's all I can do. Type bonk. A squeaking gavel toy. That would be... Yeah, but, like, how difficult is it to make it squeak? It's like, do I have to actually, like, hit very hard? A gavel toy? That's a good point. And if I use it for the show, then it's tax deductible. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So, now that we are done with the recent legislative break, I guess, we're now back to the whole introducing a bunch of anti-trans bills across the country thing. As, you know, they're staggering back in. These different states are starting back up with their legislative sessions. So, Ohio, currently, considering a trans ban that's basically like banning trans people in sports, and so all in one, it's doing that, and it's a ban on gender-affirming care for minors, I believe, and it's going to suggest alternate treatments, such as witch doctors and conversion therapy. Those were the things that were presented at the big meeting. It's a hearing from the Ohio Senate Government Oversight Committee. They convened to hear House Bill 68, which would ban gender-affirming care for trans youth. It would force them into medical detransition by removing them from medications that they're currently on. Like, so this one does not have a grandfather clause that would prevent people from being taken off of medication that they are already approved to be on. I wonder if I can deduct the cost of my lingerie from my taxes. Yes, if you're a sex worker, if you're reporting your income, which you're supposed to, from OnlyFans or whatever, even if it's only a tiny amount of money that you're getting from your OnlyFans or your Fansly, you can, if you buy any sex toys that you use in your videos, if you buy any lingerie that you use in your videos, any lube that you buy that you use in your videos or your pictures or whatever that you do for that service, like those are all tax deductible. If you're going to be reporting that income anyway, then you might as well reduce your overall taxable income. That's what reporting those things does. I don't know if you are clear on that, but like when you're self-employed and you write something off, it basically just reduces your overall taxable income, which can, bring your overall taxes down by the actual dollar amount. And also it can, if you have enough of that, drop you into a lower tax bracket. Why did no one tell me that witch doctor was a career path? I know, I need to find out more details about this. Witch doctor is a viable career path? How do I do that? How do I get in on that? I would like someone to tell me, who do I need to pay? Like, I'm going to go into the bog with $5,000 and I'm going to locate the house on the chicken legs. That's what I'm going to be wearing my plague doctor mask, you got to be in the appropriate costume. Yeah, that's what I want. Is that what a death druid is? Like we were talking about the circle of death druids earlier. Is that what that is? Yeah, I'm going to go visit Baba Yaga and get instruction in how to be a witch doctor. I don't think that's what Baba Yaga is. I know, I was invoking Baba Yaga. I don't know what she is. I interned for Baba Yaga. Yeah, thank you. It's not a cult. I'm going to learn a craft, okay? I'm going to learn a skill. And it's a useful skill. You'll be happy one day when society collapses that there are local witch doctors in your community willing to make house calls for you, okay? They would absolutely ban witch doctors if people started doing the satanic panic again. No. You could be an Appalachian witch for free. Oh, so in Appalachia, she's running a special right now. She doesn't need the $5,000. Well, I would need to pay for like a hotel, right? I believe that in Oregon and Washington, you can get a sufficiently high enough degree in essentially herbalism to be a doctor, and that's essentially what a witch doctor was. Well, I mean, like, herpetology? Or, like, you can go to school to, like, be a person who botany is a different thing, I think, than herpetology. And then becoming a doctor in it is just, all you have to do is, like, write some kind of original research, like, contribute original research to the field, and that's how you get a doctorate degree. But yes, I'll get the crow/plague mask cloak outfit. In Appalachia, you'd be paying for a tent, a still, and a shotgun. Listen, there's too many weird mange bear seeming creatures and fucking caves in Appalachia. I don't want to live there. It's so scary there. A still and a shotgun. True. Yeah, you're right. This is a type of herbalist who actually has the functioning power of being considered a doctor. Oh, and are allowed to have people call them doctor in these states. I see. Like, they can be a practicing medical professional as someone who is specialized in herbs. So that is someone who, like, understands the properties of plants well enough that they could synthesize medicine or could, like, mix different plants and have you take them as a practitioner. That's interesting. That's really fascinating. Herpetology is reptiles and amphibians. Okay, my bad. I can't remember words. Is it just herbology? It might just be herbology that I was thinking of, like a fucking idiot. Anyway. That's cool, though. I didn't know that there was such a degree. Like, you could literally become an herbalist. Being the witch yourself, you will learn how to avoid the critters. It's the outsiders passing through who usually run into trouble. Listen to the locals and you will be fine. But a good firearm does help, as always. Okay, let's get back into the really unpleasantness. It didn't take us long to veer off topic, did it? So, yeah, they're convening to discuss a bill that is going to both ban trans-affirming care for youth, force them to detransition, and ban trans women from women's sports. A right-wing pastor... Okay, so why is it that Representative... Okay, I do feel... Okay, so it's one thing for you to have a religion and to run for public office. I don't think that that necessarily inherently represents a conflict of interest as it relates to the separation of church and state. But if you are a literal pastor, I don't know why you're allowed to hold office. I do feel like that should maybe be a disqualifying factor. A right-wing pastor known for practicing conversion therapy. Representative Gary Click is behind this latest effort in a series of attempts to enact trans restrictions in Ohio. This hearing is designated proponents-only, which features testimonies only from those who support the bill. And the proponents who spoke testified that family rejection, addiction counseling, and even conversion therapy might be the right options to treat trans people. And they relied on retired pharmacists and fringe doctors to justify these bans. Right, no one holding them accountable, of course, that's the problem. The bill has already passed the Ohio House of Representatives. It's been proposed by Gary Click. It's one of several bills targeting trans and queer people in the state. There is also a public drag ban that they're considering and a ban on trans students in college bathrooms. Presumably they would revoke funding or something from schools that allowed trans people to use the appropriate restrooms. Republicans have run on trans issues, and they lost in several school board races across the state of Ohio. There are no exceptions for gender-affirming care in the severe dysphoria. There's no alternate treatments presented in the bill, and it would even pull trans youth off of their medication, as we discussed earlier. The hearing included testimonies from several members of the small group of political detransitioners and social media influencers who frequently travel between state hearings to oppose gender-affirming care, similar to the ex-gay movement. Like they would do the same thing where they had like a couple people who were quote-unquote success stories. Like, oh, we successfully deconverted these ones. And then just like parade them everywhere. They fly all around the country. And to be clear, we did cover the fact that process of these detransitioners being paraded across the country, that is being bankrolled by a very specific billionaire. And they may be being paid themselves. Like it's not just the hotels and stuff. It's possible that they're just being paid straight up. Detransitioners and trans regretters, including Chloe Cole, Prisha Mosley, and Corinna Cohn, they spoke at this hearing. Riley Gaines also made an appearance. She tied for 5th place against Leah Thomas. Let's see. The reasons for detransitioning most commonly do not stem from a lack of trans identity, but rather from parental pressure, employment challenges, or social stigma. Like most people who detransition don't do it because they renounce that they're trans, right? And also, apparently, one of the detransitioners who testified made this point without realizing it. Richard Anumene, who is suing Kaiser Permanente for providing him gender-affirming care as an adult, testified that he faced immense family pressure after transitioning at the age of 20. I wonder if this is the guy who was in the Detrans documentary that we responded to. He states he experienced a wonderful transition early on. However, he was, quote, convinced to return to presenting as a man due to rejection by his father, as well as economic difficulties, in line with recent studies showing that trans people experience heightened rates of poverty. Wow, amazing. Numerous other witnesses suggested that family rejection and non-affirmation could be a way to stop trans people from being trans. Like, you can't reward this behavior kind of rhetoric. Not to mention that, yeah, all of the success stories seem to be like such clearly repressed and traumatized people. Like, they just don't seem comfortable in the situation that they're in currently. Let's see. Another detransitioner, Morgan Keller, testified for the first time that she transitioned due to being, quote, seduced by gender ideology and a belief that her gender identity was a, quote, delusion. She left out the important part about how when she posted online about this at the time, she stated that the actual reason she detransitioned was because she had a religious experience in a dream where God told her she was on the wrong path. Seems like a very normal reason to do something. And she like stopped tea cold turkey and stuff. I was reading it earlier. One of the most extreme testimonies came from Jeanette Cooper, who rejected her own child's trans identity and who lost custody to the child's father after he testified that Cooper's actions led to the mental and emotional harm of their child. Cooper revealed that she leads a group of, quote, thousands of parents who do not affirm their transgender children's gender identities, promoting this form of rejection as a way to deter being trans. The way that these people speak about their kids in these groups is insane. They're literally like, if your kid is saying that they're suicidal, you need to double down and like you need to take their phone away. You need to remove their internet access, like, because they're just trying to manipulate you into forcing you to support this. And it's important for you to call their bluff. Like, they are so intensely abusive. It's crazy. Let's see. And also, like, yeah, a way to reveal your bias. Like, I'm a leader of a group of, quote, thousands of parents who like literally use rejection and like social harm as a way to deter their kids from identifying as trans. Later, when she asked how people with gender dysphoria should be treated, she stated that it must be treated, quote, like an addiction. However, obviously there's no evidence that being trans is like an addiction. You know, when we start medication, a lot of the time we tend to stay on it, and that's because it is effective at resolving our distress for the most part. But yeah, it's pretty shit to portray that like an addiction. But I think that these kind of people are also the type of folks who would be against antidepressants. Like, they're the same type of folks who are like, you can't rely on this like substance to get you through. Like, aren't you just another drug addict? Like, no, Brenda. Like, I need my brain chemicals to do the thing that they're supposed to do, please. Exactly, yes. Diabetics are just addicted to insulin. Precisely. I know, yeah. Even people who think of themselves as good will tell an addict to just stop being an addict because they're a problem. They'll do the same thing to trans people and others because you're a problem they can't fix. So they experience cognitive dissonance and tell their loved ones just be better. They have no idea what that can entail. Yeah, just stop, bro. Just stop being an addict or just stop being trans. Like, can't you just be a feminine man? Why do you have to transition? Are you sure you're not just gay? Right? Oh, water's delicious. Hail hydrate, my babes. I need to sit down. I'm not really in frame. I need to adjust this camera, but maybe I'll just take the time to do it now. I'm just gonna drag this down a little bit. Yep. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's marginally better. I don't know. I like changed the camera and then I didn't adjust it in the view over here. So now if I'm sitting up on my legs like this, I'm like out of frame. Like, bye. I'm leaving later. Just gonna go on a little adventure. Here. Need to make it a little smaller. Nope. Make it smaller. Sorry, I'm making changes on the fly. Can't stop me. Okay. I think that's a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'm gonna stop goofing off now. Okay, let's get back to it. Hey, hit the like button, by the way, if you would like to do that, and it's free and it's quick and it's clean. It is funny that they call us addicts when 90% of transphobes I've met talk more about trans people than actual trans people. That's the other thing too. They're like, oh wow, you know, you guys are like so weird in this clique of people who are so close together, and like, it's so weird how much you talk about being trans, and like, wow, it's your whole life. And it's like, you know, yeah, online when we are communing about being trans, yeah, of course we're talking about it. In those communities, we're talking about it a lot. Look at us offline, and most of us have jobs where we cannot be out, or we have jobs where we are stealth. Like, we are like hiding our identities from our families. Like, we're avoiding seeing people because we don't want them to notice that we started hormones. Like, we are like going to the library and like playing video games and like doing all kinds of other things that don't necessarily involve being trans. Like, we can't do that all the time. We have other stuff going on. But transphobes basically make it their job. Like, they spend so much time on this. They basically have made it their career to talk about us all the time. And it's super, super strange. In some places, in some people, like, literally made it their career. Like, actually, it's like the thing that they do is go around talking smack on trans people and like getting paid for it. Okay, let's see. I'm reading. Oh, of course, the Alliance Defending Freedom was there. They have, obviously, that's the organization that has drafted a lot of the anti-trans laws that are then being copy-pasted across the country. Our current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, used to be a lawyer for the Alliance Defending Freedom, and they defend, like, the creationist museum from Ken Ham. Like, they try to limit abortion rights, and, like, they, in this case, are testifying that banning trans care does not violate the organization's, quote, parental rights stance, the idea that parents have the right to make medical decisions for their kids, I guess, because the ban only targets puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgery for trans youth. When asked what was left for these youth, he claimed that, quote, therapy was the best way to treat them. They want to do conversion therapy. Like, they push a variety of forms of conversion therapy. They used to be allied with Exodus International, which is the ex-gay movement from the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, of course, interestingly, you know, Mike Johnson, part of that partnership. There's no evidence that conversion therapy is a good treatment for trans people. Plenty of evidence that it does harm. Gender-affirming care has lots of evidence. We went through, like, a ton of studies recently discussing the benefits of transition for trans youth. Several proponents were brought in to testify. These proponents included fringe medical practitioners such as Ohio pharmacist Kent Zellner, who resigned as a pharmacist after refusing to fill Plan B prescriptions in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Great reputation there. Cynthia Millen, a woman often presented as a, quote, USA swimming official, who has stated that, quote, predators love Planned Parenthood, and that gay people should practice chastity, also testified. And then Riley Gaines showed up to support the bill because of the sports ban thing. Following the hearing, Riley Gaines announced to her followers that she played a major role in banning trans women from women's chess. That was in the UK, I think, that they started all that nonsense, wasn't it? No. It was the UK Chess League that said, no, we're not going to ban trans women. Good on them. So, yeah, we also had... Okay, so that was the main chunk of it. Is it, like, there was this hearing, a bunch of proponents for the bill, bunch of people speaking in support of the bill. Anti-trans policies, however, are not particularly popular in Ohio. Like 70% of school board candidates who ran on trans issues and the Moms for Liberty platform lost. However, sources indicate that Republicans intend to push this bill through anyway. And yeah, we'll have to see. There will be another hearing that is the opposition, the opponents, but it's going to be announced at a later date. So we don't even know when, if, like, honestly, if that's going to happen, if they don't come up with some reason to not hold it anyway, just to, you know, make us feel even worse about the fact that we don't, I mean, it doesn't matter what gets said during the opponent hearing is the unfortunate part. If the Republicans are dead set on passing it, if they have even if they don't have the governorship, you know, so many of these state legislatures have been rigged up so that there is a veto-proof majority, and I would not be surprised if Ohio had that, or if they just had a Republican governor. I'm actually not sure, and I don't care to know. I don't know what you would sue any of these people for. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's Ohio trans ban. Cool. We don't need that anymore. So now we're down to 2 stories left. We've got the Florida trying to expand their Don't Say Gay bill. And then we have Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire. They've made a movie. Okay, so here's the thing about the title of the stream, okay? The Daily Wire have made another movie, as they do. They've made a couple of them at this point. And this one is called, what's it called? It's called Lady Ballers. And the premise is that a coach, like a has-been coach, is trying to gain notoriety again, and he's decided to get a bunch of cis men to pretend to be women so that they can form a women's team that like dominates the sport. And is it a wrestling? It's a basketball team. They're getting a basketball team together. So, yeah. I mean, it's pretty shit, but we're gonna laugh at it and make fun of it a little bit, I think, is mainly the goal. And a little Florida moment. And then I don't have anything else planned, so we could play Little Nightmares, or depending on how late it is, that might be time for us to wrap up. I do not have any dinner plans today, so we'll figure that out later. Absolutely biohazardous rubbish. It truly is. Yeah, of course this new film is a joke. All of the films that the Daily Wire makes are a joke. You can't make content with the intent to trigger the libs. It's just gonna come out corny and stupid. Like, it's just not gonna work. It doesn't work for you. You can't sit with us, okay? Oh, by the way, someone asked the other day, while we were streaming on Sunday, if I would put in my merch store a t-shirt that says I went to a Luxander stream and all I got was this t-shirt. And I don't really know why you want that, but I did make that t-shirt. So you can go to the merch store and buy it if you want. It's supposed to be a nice soft t-shirt. Yeah, I saw Andy's. I saw that you had bought one. So I hope that you enjoy. If I can afford it this Christmas, what I want to get for myself is like some more samples, some more merch samples. I ordered myself one of the beanies. Excuse me. Oh, it's finally showing as being in production. Okay, the company that makes the beanies is not very efficient. There's a bunch of, my merch store has like a bunch of different companies that do the fulfillment, and I kind of still said, I kind of want one that says I got transed by Luxander. Okay, do you want a t-shirt or a tank top or a hoodie? Like, what do you want? Just a t-shirt? I got transed by Luxander, I guess. It makes me feel weird to have that in my store. Like, it seems like a weird thing for me to have in my store. But I'll think about it. Anyhow. So I'm looking forward to getting my hat finally. I'm just gonna I'm gonna wear a beanie every single stream. The Luxander to trans pipeline. Listen, you start watching me, you think everything's fine, but then I start talking about bottom surgery and you're like, really? Yeah, so I'm hoping that I get my beanie. It's probably not going to be this week at this point, but I'm hoping I get it like Monday or Tuesday, and then so for around this, maybe the Wednesday stream next week, I'll be able to show off my merch. I'd like to get more stuff, but like obviously the hoodies are not cheap, even if it's just me paying for it. So it's like, I want a hoodie. I think I want the coffee mug, like me buying my own merch. Anybody else having trouble with the stream? I keep getting redirects. I don't know. It's not showing me any connectivity issues or anything. I'm not sure what the issue is. Strange. Drink water, babes. Okay? Stay healthy. Hit like on the stream if you haven't. We're going to talk about Florida next, I think. Florida. I used to type Florida every time I tried to type the word Florida. It's still really hard not to. Like, it's still quite difficult. What if, okay, here, Avi, here's a compromise. What if I did a shirt that says I got transed by Luxander, but I made it like only available for a week? It's like, Okay, you can if you really want this shirt, you can get it for a week, but it's gonna go away after that. What about a shirt that says rapid onset trans euphoria? Can it say rapid onset gender euphoria? Can it say gender euphoria? Rapid. That's a good idea. Oh, thank you so much, Noah, for the gifted tier 1 sub to Mersh. I appreciate. Thank you so much for that dono. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. Yo, okay, listen, y'all. I just want to complain for a second before we move into this segment. I promise I'm not gonna take forever. You know, we had the... Hold on, rapid onset gender... I did a little segment about, like, trans temporality. We were talking about it on stream a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago. I'm so broke right now that it would have to be a week away in the future. Okay, I got you. No, what's happening? No, my brain. Okay, I'm trying to do too many things at once. Rapid onset gender euphoria. Oh my god, what was I trying to say? No. I don't remember. I can, like, you can, like, watch it. You can see the terror in my eyes as I can, like, feel the thoughts slipping away from me. Yeah, okay, so I made... Thank you. I made a little segment about, like, okay, it sucks that trans people don't have access to the same milestones as other people, but we do have, like, transition milestones or, like, self-actualization milestones. And I was like, I think that's really nice. And I decided to clip that and put it on the channel. And that was confirmed by manual review to not be appropriate for most advertisers for some fuck-ass reason, which is why it would be great if you would donate $1 on Patreon. If you just pledge $1 a month, that's like $12 a year. You get access to exclusive stuff, and it will make up for the fact that I don't make a lot of money in ads sometimes. It's rough. It's rough. Like, usually if I post a video, I'll make somewhere between $5 and $10 the day that it releases. But yeah, today's video just did not, it was just never going to do as well. RIP. That's what YouTube thinks of trans celebration. It says, nope, you cannot advertise on this content. Jiminy Christmas. Okay, let's do a Don't Say Gay Bill segment again. How many times? All right, y'all remember those Don't Say Gay bills in Florida about the school environment, right? They were initially saying, oh, we want to protect kids up to age 8 from hearing about trans and mostly trans people, but also gay people. Yeah, don't say gay, you'll lose. You lose the game if you say gay. Don't do it. So that ended up passing, and then they expanded it to be, it's inappropriate to talk about these subjects through 12th grade, so literally any public school, any people under the age of 18 in school, you're not allowed to discuss gayness. There have already been impacts of this, like people stepping down from their job because they played the Toy Story movie that has a little same-sex kiss in it. You have people, like, leaving their jobs because of excessive amounts of attention from people like libs of TikTok. Like, yeah, it's not a really good time. And they're trying to expand it once again. If you will see here, a new Florida bill proposes expanding Don't Say Gay to the workplace. To the workplace. So this would prohibit trans employees, I think specifically government or state employees, from sharing their pronouns, among other stipulations. Let's see. So House Bill 599, introduced on Tuesday by freshman Representative Ryan Chamberlain, so someone who is new to the legislature. It's going to make big changes to the Florida employment statutes, declaring that, quote, a person's sex is an immutable biological trait. The bill prohibits government employees or contractors from being compelled to use a person's pronouns if those pronouns, quote, do not correspond to his or her sex. So basically, it's a bill making explicit that like sex discrimination against trans people is legal. Like you can do sex discrimination against trans people specifically. That's okay. It also bars employers from asking any worker to state their own pronouns. Oh, it said like, is that it? Sorry, it bars employers in general. I really initially thought that it was Government employees. Okay, is it just government employees? Even more draconian, the bill would prevent trans employees from sharing their pronouns at all. Under the proposed law, employees and contractors... yes, this is state employees and contractors cannot, quote, provide to an employer his or her preferred personal title or pronouns if, again, they do not match the worker's assigned sex. So here's the thing that I'm interested in about this. You cannot provide to an employer his or her preferred personal title or pronouns. Personal title, is that only referring to things like Mr. and Ms., or does personal title include something like your name? Like, if your name is that of, quote, the opposite sex that you were born, are you not allowed to designate an alternate personal title? Anyway, that's an interesting question, right? So this bill would also ban any tax-exempt nonprofit or employer that receives state funds from requiring, quote, any training, instruction, or other activity on sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. So yeah, that includes hospitals, by the way. Hospitals that receive state funds, particularly, like, they will receive state funds through Medicare and stuff like this. So, like, Medicare might have to stop working with them if they require any training or instruction, like diversity training for sexual orientation or gender identity. So instead, the bill replaces those with non-discrimination protections for what is called, quote, deeply held biology-based beliefs, which is a new spin on religious exemptions. This is very similar to what the TERFs have tried to do over in the UK, trying to make, like, gender-critical beliefs a protected, like, philosophical or religious belief, essentially, which is just some of the most ballsy rhetoric I've ever heard. Like, it's pretty insane, TBH. Florida is truly on track to be the worst place very, very permanently. Let's see. Obviously, this is going to have a very big impact on any LGBTQ nonprofits or activist programs. It would be nearly impossible to continue even basic operations legally, says Aaron Reed. It would be a blatant power grab by the state targeting organizations critical to the government and would further drive LGBTQ plus activism and organizing underground in the state. Others have echoed this analysis. The Florida legislature is not currently in session, though lawmakers are still allowed to file bills for consideration next year. Any action on HB 599 will likely take place during the legislature's next regular session, scheduled to begin in March 2024. Okay, so we won't have to cover this again for like 4 months. We'll talk about it again in the spring, all right? Yeah, so I just wanted to keep us updated as to what's going on in Florida. As usual, it is a hellscape from which you need to escape quickly. Florida, don't say gay, even more edition. That's how I put that in my notes for today. Okay. Now that we're at a steady, like, 39, 40 viewers, let's do the Matt Walsh thing. Finally. Oh, goodness gracious. Can you go away, please? Go away. No, 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 no. Go away. No, no, no. No, 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 no.
You know.
Or we'll tee it up in a second. Oh, we actually lost viewers when we were like, okay, let's actually start talking about the title issue. Oh my gosh. I am so yawny. Yawn, 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 yawn. Oh my gosh. Florida. Daily Wire. Mama, you fell asleep? That's not allowed. Don't fall asleep during my show. I will stab you. Or something. I don't know. It's not allowed. I'm threatening you to continue watching the show. You have to keep doing it now. You have no choice. Man, I'm really excited. I want to get this stupid hat. I ordered the hat on fucking Wednesday last week. Right, the idea of seeing Walsh in a dress just is not that appealing. Okay. How do I even tee this up? How do I even say this? I'm getting tired now. I have not been sleeping very well this week, which I think I mentioned on Sunday as well. Just, it's still happening. Just haven't been sleeping too well. I don't know if it's like it's getting colder at night or if I'm like just having weird dreams. I'm definitely having weird dreams. That's definitely a thing. Rapid onset gender euphoria is a shirt that I need to make. You all are like encouraging me to learn graphic design. That's a thing that I'm going to have to do now. Because you guys brought up the idea of like, a dragon destroying a city or a dragon destroying capitalism. And I'm like, oh yeah, those are really good ideas. And I have a very clear vision for a way to fairly simply accomplish that in something like Adobe Illustrator. So I'm going to like learn how to use Adobe Illustrator to make some vector graphics basically and like put it on a t-shirt. So that's cool. Good weird dreams or bad ones? Usually bad ones. Well, last night, I don't remember most of the content of my dreams, but there was one moment that I do remember that I was like kind of stressed about, but it was a good moment. Like, it's something that I would be like gratified if it actually happened, but like I was stressed about it happening in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm always stressed in my dreams. Anyhoozle. We're almost to 75 likes. Oh my god. Let's get ready to talk about Matt Walsh. How do you even tee up a comedy like this? Like the comedy gold that the Daily Wire Plus is going to be putting out. They've released a trailer for a new gut-busting movie. Just an absolute knee slapper. I'm probably not going to watch the actual movie because why would I pay for it? But there's a trailer, and we're going to try to enjoy as much of this movie as we can without actually having watched the movie, right? And it's called Lady Ballers. Lady Ballers. And I'll give you $10 if you can guess what it's about. You know, they're obsessed with trans women in sports, and they're gonna make a whole, yeah, it's about orchiectomies. Yeah, let's keep that dream alive. Just keep that hope alive. So I don't even know. Like, I'm not gonna, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll read their little caption description first, right? In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year. A once great coach is on a hilarious journey back to victory by reuniting his former high school championship basketball team, but this time he's challenging them to play like girls. And that's the movie. I love that description. It's a good one. Oh, good grief. All right, let's roll. Let's do it.
In a world
literally
where sports is being
I didn't listen to the audio earlier. I watched some of the video without audio, and I didn't know that he was actually going to do it. In a world. Like, oh no. All right, hold on.
transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul.
Oh, he's just
with
repeating.
the most triggering
Yeah.
comedy of the year.
He's saying what I just said. I got it. Wow. Just the inhuman expression on the face of this person who's supposed to be, I guess, I don't know, is it supposed to be a trans woman, or is the whole conceit is that these are knowingly cis men going into women's sports? I think that's the conceit, right? Anyway.
Guys, this is
Amazing.
serious. Sports can be your pathway to a better life.
Well, like yours?
Please don't steal my catalytic converter again. Winning matters. It's the key ingredient.
Oh, that's kind of... Please don't steal my catalytic converter again. It's like, okay, that was a strange... That was an interesting joke. Oh, is this the Matt Walsh moment? This is it. It's happening.
Converter again. Winning matters. It's the key ingredient in becoming a winner.
Maybe you should try it sometime.
Oh, no, that wasn't it. I'm like, I don't know where Matt Walsh is in this. I'm looking out for him. So this is he's a has-been coach. Oh, look at this lady. I didn't even notice her before. She's got stop trans genocide, trans flag, love is love. How many trans flags do you need? Usually you really only need like one. You might have like one trans flag and one lesbian flag or something.
I am not.
Wait, why did that happen?
Again, winning matters. It's the key ingredient in becoming a winner.
Maybe you should try it sometime. Are you gonna move?
I am not.
Okay, so just tased him for no reason.
Let's cut to the chase. I know
Cool.
you're not a woman.
Hey, you don't know how he identifies.
If you can beat them,
What do you know
I
about
think that he just used the male pronouns too. Like, you don't know how he identifies. So, yes, the whole thing is that they're using this conceit to win at the sports. I am transgender George and I need 1 million flags. This movie is basically just The Ringer, but transphobia instead of ableism. Right, isn't The Ringer about, like, people pretending to be disabled in order to win at a disabled competition? I haven't actually seen The Ringer. It's a ripoff of the Johnny Knoxville movie where he pretends to be special and needs to compete in the Special Olympics. Okay. Right, yeah. Just, you know, they can't tell an original story to save their lives. And you already knew that. You already knew that they can't tell an original story to save their lives.
the U.S. Opens for the Global Games?
Shot put.
You want us to compete as women. $5,000.
I think the thing that is annoying to me most about this particular scene right here is that this dude doesn't even use proper form. Like, you can at least use proper form when you're doing your shot put instead of just wildly throwing it. I mean, it's because it's obviously this is like a rubber ball and not the big fucking iron ball that you actually have to throw in shot put. Hi, I did track and field when I was in middle school. Shot put is a big heavy fucking like iron ball and you're supposed to throw it in a specific manner, like from the shoulder. So yeah, like winging it around would rip your fucking arm out of your shoulder socket. Like whipping it around like this in this movie. It bothers me more than it probably should. This is what happens when butthurt conservatives who couldn't make it in Hollywood get funded by oil billionaires to own the libs. Truly, these movies, like they rented a really nice camera. If you look at the shots in this trailer, like they rented a very nice camera, or several, I guess, in order to shoot this movie, and it's pretty well edited as far as the color grading and everything goes. Like, it looks like a Mean Girls level movie. Like, it's just a movie. And, like, they're not going to earn that much money back on it. It's, like, are they just doing this as, like, a tax write-off? Like, when the movie inevitably fails, are they just going to write it off somehow? I don't know. This movie lacks the conflict of self that The Ringer had, and The Ringer sucked anyway, true. Ben Shapiro is a failed screenwriter. Michael Knowles and Brett Cooper are failed actors. Matt Walsh is a failed radio host. They're trying to throw something together.
Compete as women. $5,000 prizes.
My lover says you're a great coach.
Oh, there's Matt Walsh. There he is. Oh, come on. Navigating frame by frame. There's Matt Walsh. Is Matt is he dressed? I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. Is he supposed to be dressed as like a hippie man with this long hair wig, or is he supposed to be trans? Like, are people saying that this is him playing a trans character?
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day. Is that the only line we get from him in this? Wearing a mala, so supposed to be Buddhist. Yeah, I get more the impression that his character in this is supposed to be like a hippy dippy guy rather than a trans character. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, we'll see how that goes. It's oddly very cis to have like 9 trans flags. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
join
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it. So a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice.
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes. Coach?
Alex.
Like, way to take it the weirdest direction possible. They always take things the weirdest direction possible. He doesn't want to see himself barefaced in a wig. Yeah, well, I thought that maybe the joke might be that he won't shave the beard, and that, like, okay, well, if you trans people are saying that trans women can have beards now, then that's what I'm gonna do, is be a trans woman with a beard. Doing a racism on top of the transphobia. It's never only one thing. But what was the racist thing I missed? Oh, the Buddhist thing, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
We could play basketball.
We have to get the whole team back together.
It's time
We're in.
I'm in. I'm in.
To play.
Lady Ballers. Line up.
Okay.
Like a girl.
That's right. I'm with her.
Hashtag I'm with her. Is that what he said? Okay. Good stuff.
Believe in my truth. This is my truth.
Very good. Enjoying the footage of women getting beat up. Yes, this is an accurate representation of what really happens in real life. They have definitely not invented a problem to be mad at.
Day one of being a girl athlete?
I knew that was going to be making fun of Dylan, and I didn't even listen to the sound earlier. When I was just watching this to kind of I was like, what's going to happen in this thing? And like without sound on Twitter. And I knew that this little thing right here, just by the setup and the lighting and the way that this person acts in the movement, I knew that this was going to be ripping on Dylan Mulvaney. And he said, like, day one of being a girl athlete, like, absolutely ripping on Dylan Mulvaney directly.
Athlete? I love being a girl.
To sheroes.
We could dominate every woman's sport. Running, swimming, soccer. I said sport, Felix.
Okay.
It's ladies basketball, boys. Nobody watches.
So the main comedy of this movie, there is like some dialogue related comedy, but a lot of it's going to be like, isn't it so funny that these guys are like obviously going to be beating up women if they participate in contact sports? Just throwing shit together, right? They're still mad at Hillary Clinton with that I'm with her. This is clearly designed for terminally online divorced boomers. I mean, that's who it's made by. So I don't think that they have the capacity to imagine other types of people. So obviously they're only making content for themselves. Like they're like, this is the only correct way to be a person. International Women's Day, the power of she. Hey, Ted Cruz. Is that Riley Gaines?
Never mind.
Getting dunks. And tucking
Okay.
trunks.
No, she didn't.
Okay, so these other again, it is always super weirdly racialized. So they're called the Lady Ballers, and they are men who joined in order to beat all the women. But then this team of apparently mostly black men who are called the Cowgirls have joined, and they're gonna be better at the sport because they're black dudes. We love to see our racism at the same time as our transphobia. It's great.
That's the biggest.
That was Michael Knowles. Was that Riley Gaines? Hold on. I don't know who this guy is. I know that he's prominent for some reason. But this right here is Michael Knowles wearing a very racially Native American ceremonial outfit with a mustache. And I don't remember who this is. Is this Riley Gaines? I can't remember. I don't know who this is. But she's wearing twists that are meant to look like cornrow twists. I guess she's supposed to look sort of like she's wearing African regalia or something. I'm not totally sure. Femme Shapiro. Is she Cleopatra? I am not 100% certain what she's going for. It does look African, though. So this is Brett Cooper. I don't know who Brett Cooper is.
That's the biggest
Who's Brett Cooper? He's probably another guy that I don't care about.
I've ever seen on a lady. I don't care.
Lady Ballers.
Okay, you got Ben Shapiro in there for a second.
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
Good stuff.
Streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus December 1st.
Yeah, very funny, guys. Very, very funny. Brett Cooper. Oh, Brett Cooper is the Femme Shapiro. Got it. Okay, I don't know who people are. I knew some of them, but I didn't know all of them. So, yeah, that movie is going to be very funny. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to watch it. Like, so many people are going to watch it. It was definitely worth it for you to rent all those really high-quality cameras. It's really funny for a woman with a guy's name to be transphobic. I know. I've literally... Who's Brett? Who's Brett? That's always a man. Why are you... Brett Cooper? That's a boy's name. 100%. I'm very excited for them to make so much money on that movie. It's going to be great. The irony is that someone like Brittany Griner would absolutely demolish them. I don't know Brittany Griner, I don't think. At least I don't think I do. Whomst is that? Oh yeah, she's the one who was arrested in Russia for the long time. Is stream lagging for anyone else? I don't know. It says excellent connection on the YouTube. So, we're definitely petering out at this time of night. Kind of petering out just a little bit. Which is okay. It's understandable. It happens. Delicious. Hail hydrate. Always drink water. Yeah. So yeah, it's really funny to me. They can't just be transphobic. They always have to be racist at the same time. What's up, strange werewolf? We're here. We're at the end of stream, kind of toward the end of stream anyway. I'm mulling over whether I want to open up Little Nightmares, Little Nightmares and play it for a little bit. I can't remember what we were in the middle of doing. Oh, yeah, was it something annoying and, like, time-sensitive? I can't remember what I was in the middle of doing before. I'm fine with the Daily Wire wasting their oil money on this movie, because there's no shot they're going to recoup the loss of it. True. Raymond Bell, I'm going to let that mute stand, because you gotta, at some point, stop doing that. Yeah, you're at the end of stream. You missed it. You can always take it back. The worst part of this is also their absolute contempt for cis women. They try to claim that they're defenseless against anyone who isn't another cis woman. Yeah, like, again, that, like, shot put scene, I do think that they specifically told the girls to, like, make their shot put look weaker and, like, not do it, you know, it needs to look feeble compared to this dominating man. And, like, you know, that's the other thing, is they pulled the trans age thing right at the end, but even earlier in the thing, they were obviously an adult man playing versus, like, a high school, like, team of shot putters. I feel so bad for the women who agree to be in those kind of movies. It's like, you're being so dramatically undervalued right now. Oh gosh, anyhoozle. I am getting tired. I'm trying to think if there's anything we should talk about before we start to wind down a little bit. Perhaps. My voice be getting tired. Do we do Little Nightmares for a minute? What I was doing? What was I doing? I don't remember. I want to look and see what I was in the middle of doing on Little Nightmares, and maybe we will play it for a little bit more than a half an hour before we log off. Can't wait to see this movie flop harder than Morbius. True. Okay, we're loading into the game. Did we what tonight? What? Oh yeah, we're in a new place? New things are happening? You can actually watch this time. Nice. Oh yeah, the fucking hand. I don't remember where my little friend went, but I don't have her anymore. And now I've got to deal with this hand problem. No wonder I logged off before. Gosh darn it. Darn. No! Let me jump, please. Let me go up. Let me go up. Let me go up. Okay, cool. I did it. And now, okay, I'm gonna have to jump across here and, like, climb up. But then he's gonna be able to climb up and follow me, so then Mersh suggested that there might be some, like hooks or something, above. So, okay, I just ran across there and I didn't show it to you, and I went across cleanly and it was so sad. Okay. So I'm gonna have to run and jump. Fuck me, I hate this. No, 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 no. Go, 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 go up, please. Okay, I'm just supposed to crawl in here, but I can't do anything if I go in here. You will just get me. Okay, so that's not the right thing to do. But I didn't see any hooks to jump on. Like, there weren't any that were close enough. Let me jump, please. Go up. Okay, good. Yes. And the tough thing about these scenes, too, is that it doesn't really give you time to, like, critically evaluate what's happening and then, like, make quick decisions. Because, like, it clearly is giving me the, place to crawl in, but then clearly that's not the right answer to the puzzle. So... we're gonna run, and we're gonna jump, and we're gonna go up. Okay. Can I? Nope. Okay, I was trying to jump up on that thing next to it. If you guys see anything that I don't see, you're welcome to backseat game a little bit. That's always welcome. Later, Speedy. Nope. Let me up. Thank you. Okay. Hi. Hello, Mr. Creepy Hand. Okay. Now what am I supposed to do? Okay, I think maybe I need to jump up here. Nope, can I jump? I can't jump up there. And I can't go into the tunnel. I don't want to have to Google the answer. I hate having to Google the answer. Something you could drop on it? Is there any way to kill the hand? Yeah, I mean, that is an idea. Like, can I crawl off the side? If I just crawl down here? Nope, he's gonna get me there. Yeah, I don't know, why kill hand? Is there anything to pick up? Oh yeah, I guess, could I pick up this hand that's sitting here? Like, is this hand something that I can grab to hit him with? No. This is just one of those repetitive parts of the game that's like, there's not a lot you can do about it being kind of repetitive. Like, okay, there is... Okay, I can wait, okay, so I can go back here. Okay, what's back here? How is this helping me? I can't go back any... Wait. Can I go over this one? No, I think that's kind of blocked off. But yeah, maybe this is a moment where I need to... Whoa! I'm on the floor now! Okay, I was in a weird place. I was in a weird in-between place. Yeah, can you do anything to it after it lurches for you when it's sitting there for a minute? I don't know. Like, can I pick up the hand itself? Typically what happens in these situations is that it's a chase. Like, it expects you to run. Oh, okay, it does fall into two parts there. There is a part on the floor over here that is... separated from the thing now. Do I need this? Can I do anything with this? No, I can't pick that up. But that's an interesting point. Because his wrist does fall off of him, but then I can't pick up the wrist. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, Can I pick up anything? No, I think I just pushed it up against the wall. I don't think I had it in my hand. I can't pick it up. It doesn't let me. It just kicks it across the floor. Okay. Okay, it like realizes it can follow me. I don't know what I did. I think I tricked it. I'll take it, though. Okay. Okay. Is it gonna follow me? Is that the noise of it crawling through the pipes? I hope not. The music is still very tense. I think I just tricked it. The music is still so... crazy. Oh my god. Oh, it's in the vents? Is it following me around? In the vents? Where am I supposed to go? It's really hard to see because my screen is like, I'm so white that the light is reflecting off of me and then onto the screen. Like, do I need to turn the lights down? Just messing up my exposure settings for no reason. Don't worry about it. Okay, okay, going over here. Please don't kill me. I don't want you to kill me. Please don't. Please don't. But it does seem like it's crawling around in the vent. No, nope, 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 nope. Need to go back over here. Need to jump. Going back up. Okay. I was correct in feeling like I was about to need to jump around. Okay. So I have to run again. It's a chase scene. It's always a chase scene with these fucking things. Okay. I need to make it back out this way. Back up here. Okay, there's all kinds of, like, tools and vices and stuff in here. Am I supposed to use one of these tools? Or is there a hammer I can pick up? There's all kinds of stuff. Now he's hanging out there. Nope, he's gonna come get me if I get on the floor. Nope. Okay, where's the checkpoint now? Checkpoint's in here now. Okay, so while I have the opportunity, before the chase scene starts, I'm gonna investigate what there is in this room for me to use. Can I push this cart? Okay, I can... I feel like I should be able to push and pull this cart. But I don't have my buddy with me. So I can't move it yet. Okay. There's lots of mannequin parts. Can I pick any of those up? I don't think I can. This light doesn't do anything. I can't really climb up these. Well, it seems like I should be able to. More mannequin parts. Okay, he's gonna drop down here. There's this vice. I don't think that I can do anything with it, though. I want to try to get an idea of what I'm supposed to do before I start the chase scene again. Do I need to just run out here? I don't think that there's going to be anywhere for me to go if I run out here. Am I supposed to just multiple times, like, run through? Oh, I'm not going to be able to get on top of that, am I? Can't push or pull that. Can't hoist myself up. I want to know where else there is to go. Oh, I think that probably what needs to happen is I need to trick him into staying over here, and then I need to run back this way toward whatever door was over here in the first place. Like, I think I need to get him to this middle table, and then I need to run back to the left. Okay, I think while he's over there, I need to run back to the left. Okay, and there's gonna be like a table or something? Something that I can jump on. Nope, I missed. I missed the table. Okay, well, there is something that I'm supposed to do. I had the right idea. Execution was not quite there. But now I know what to do. Okay, there we go. Starting the sequence. Now it's just a skill issue. Now it's just a skill problem. Gonna make sure I'm in line with the table this time. I did it. Okay. Success. Now... climb up, and the scene is not over. He's gonna be waiting for me over here. Do I just jump? Okay, jump onto the table. Oh, shit. Are we both blocked by this table? Can he get under the table? Oh no, he got under the table for sure. I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Okay, well that's at least another checkpoint. But it doesn't last very long. I have to figure something out. Can't crawl up this, though. I'm just kind of holding myself. Oh, do I need to crawl underneath it? Where is he? Okay, I just can't see what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. Like, okay. Oh, I go around it, okay. Okay, go over here, run, jump onto the table. Oh, is there more than one of them now? Now I have this. I wonder what I was supposed to do with that. Instead of throwing it. There's a hammer. We play games very occasionally on this channel. We started playing this game on Halloween, and I just haven't beaten it yet. Okay, now what do you want? Oh, there's a hammer. Okay, great. Yeah? You gonna come back for another one? I need to break this thing here for some reason. I think. No? Just want to make sure. I got an achievement called "And Stay Dead," and then the caption said, "Better safe than sorry." True. Oh, man. Okay, this is like a fuse or something that I need. Or do I not need this? Where am I going? I thought my Steam went off. Lamau. Yeah. Okay, is there anything fun over here that is now illuminated by my little lamp? Just lots of mannequin parts. Whew. Those little scenes are always so stressful. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to break this. Oh, you know what? I probably need to just move this in front of the... Move this thing out of the way, and then I'll hit the door with the hammer. Or can I throw this? Nope. Please go around it. Thank you. Nope, that doesn't work. Oh, I guess it did. Okay. Just broken glass. I found you! Hi. Hello. Oh, this is disconcerting. Hi, are you okay? Okay, we're back now? You're just mangling fingers? Where have you been? Okay, well, cool. This is a place that I've been before. Yeah. The fuse. Do I need the fuse? Okay, do we need this? I'm gonna carry it around like we do. Oh, that was moving on its own. Neat. Yes, I need these fuses. Okay. We did it. We got a fuse. Okay. We're trying to get this elevator to work, I believe. Yeah. So, one down. Oh, wait, I need to take that fuse and put it over here instead. So that I can get into here. And then when I get the other fuse out of that side, then I'll have two. Wow, look at that. Give me this, please. Yes, I would like it. No, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. Give me this back. Give it. Okay. I'm starting to suspect that my little raincoat friend might be part of the shenanigans. Because, like, I don't know why, like, I don't remember getting separated from her is the thing. There's enough time in between these episodes that I don't remember what happened. So I don't actually know what she was doing, that she wasn't following me for a second there. Here's another fuse thing. Electric chair. Red door. That we can't get in. Okay. Oh, we need to scooch one of these chairs. Can I scooch one of the chairs? No. Can I scooch this? Oh, I can jump up this. Oh, cool. Okay, I don't know what use that is yet. What is this? That's like an empty bottle? Okay. I was thinking maybe I needed to drag something over so that I could climb through that little window. Oh, I just need a boost from you. That's right. I forgot that you can boost me. Thank you. There's a guy just standing there. He's lacking a head, I believe. It's just... Oh no, he's on now. I don't want him to be on. Oh, he moves, and I don't like it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he moves fast. Oh, nope. Okay, well, I don't like that very much. I don't enjoy that. I just need you to be out of the way, right? So that I can go through there? Why is my little friend never with me when I need her? Like, this is so stressful. Okay, I've got a shoe. Okay, I don't like this. I'm done. I'm done with this for right now. I don't want to do this right now. Just playing this game in little half-an-hour chunks at a time. Boy, howdy. Anyway, I think that about does it for us for today. We got to 78 likes over the course of this little old stream. And hopefully it's a good rest of the night. I'm planning to see you all on Sunday. Enjoy the continued daily uploads. I'm going to continue doing daily uploads, including on the weekends. Enjoy all the shorts that have been coming out lately. Thank you so much for your donos, folks. And I will be sure to see you next time.